Hello everyone and welcome to D&D with Kristi. We are back in the world of Waterdeep Dragon Heist with my party of adventurers who are actually not in Waterdeep because I'm breaking the rules and I'm letting them leave the city early. No, there are no rules. But Alhana, you didn't hear this because I mentioned it off air, but before we start the adventure part of it, I wanted to do a little housekeeping. And so, yeah, this is kind of part of D&D because I think it's a collaborative effort. So I think having these discussions is actually part of our session, per se. As I was saying, it doesn't feel like you're kind of close to the end of the adventure we started. Was it in August?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes, but actually, you guys are like the adventure is meant to end when you guys hit level 5 or level 6. And so where are you guys now? You're level 5?
5.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
5.
So you're kind of like, I don't want to give too much away, but you're getting in the end part of this narrative. And one thing I talked about before was maybe doing Rise of Tiamat, because there were links to the factions of Waterdeep and things like that. But since I kind of had a slightly different idea that I wanted to propose to see how people would feel about it going forward. So one thing is, we can do a more sort of like straight adventure. Like Dragon Heist was a straight adventure, but I mixed in things from Acquisitions Incorporated. And then people like, Alhana brought in your own narrative, and then like Hibara just creates her own narrative. And there's some stuff in like with Clue. That I've got I'm intending to bring up. And I thought, as we move forward, maybe if we instead did a mixture, basically kind of make up our own campaign by piecing together other things. So we already have our own internal stories from some of our characters that, if I'm honest, I don't want to be too clear here because I don't want to give too much away, but in the story arc for relieving Thelvar from his family curse, it's a 2-step process, and you guys can't really fulfill the curse until you're like in double-digit levels. All right.
Enough.
So, and then there's a whole thing about the Orrey that we're starting really just at the beginning of that story, and in that one there's more travel involved. But if I sort of already purchased Dungeon of the Mad Mage, you can do also doing some things in Waterdeep, in the Underdark, or you have a business. There are actually a lot of other business opportunities and missions that you guys could pick up as your company. So I was thinking, rather than running a more straightforward campaign, is just continue on with the threads that we've already developed here, and it'll be kind of like when you guys want to just go and smash things, then we can talk about like a dungeon clearing, and if you want to travel around the Sword Coast and see other things, we can, there's some Orrey stuff in there, and we can kind of do a mixture of that with other storylines as well. But in order to know all that, I kind of have to, prepare. So yeah, I thought this would be a good time to talk about if people liked the more, here's a campaign with a sort of a clear mission option, or if you want to just continue on in the world that we've built and use Heist as a springboard for other things.
We also have to help Dobby.
Yes, there's still the Dabby storyline that needs to get sorted out. That's in Ack Inc. Yeah, so that is on the books still as well. You just haven't gone to the right area of the country to do that. So.
And there's still a necromancer clan out there gunning for us, and
yes. Correct. Yes, there's all kinds. See, so I kind of like. I think building the characters in the world already. So yeah, I mean, are people kind of like okay with more cobbling together than maybe necessarily having like here's one goal that's going to tie together our entire adventure and be more like a series of goals.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
I mean, that's the only way I've ever played D&D. This is actually the first time I've ever played one of the module.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think in general, the way our party works, we do kind of naturally form a very eclectic bunch, so it's not that weird for us to be just doing a bunch of random shit.
Yeah, and for me too, as a first time like really DMing a campaign as opposed to a one-shot, having the manual has been so, I mean, I'm cannibalizing and repurposing and reskinning it for other stories that you guys have already set in motion, like just metagaming, like an attack attacking the Zentar or the Xanathar's hideout is not part of the storyline, but Ibarra's like, oh, that's not doing that's not dangerous enough, I want to risk my life, so I'm like, all right, I can do that. Okay, and then two, the other, I guess the nice thing about that is one, I feel very much like Thelvar's background and narrative is very well developed. Clues I have plans for, so it's just a matter of like creating the conditions to bring that narrative in. Again, Hibara, I already kind of know what motivates her, so that's fine. But with Kelsey, with War, she is a sort of like a person out of space and time, and as such, I felt it a little difficult to work hooks in other than Zordas. For her. So I was wondering if you could maybe think about something that she could do in this world, like a weapon she might want to obtain, or
So Kristi, just so you know, one of the things, she is just having a blast right now. Okay. War is like in it. So for War, she is in it for the ride. Like that is how she has always played things, is like if she sees something, she'll pull strings. Like one of the things she's going to want to try to do at a certain point is maybe start trouble using the newspaper.
Okay. All right.
But right now she's just like, there's so many things. I'm in the middle of a gang war. But at the same time, she's like, but at the same time, she's very much that character from Alien, like, game over, man, we're all gonna die. Because like she's just kind of like, she's that character. Like she's just kind of like, she's not the general. She's very much the king who's playing chess. She's like, I'm not supposed to be on the fucking front lines. I'm supposed to be in the back playing puppet master. Why the hell am I here?
Well, I guess from my side as a DM, it'd be kind of nice for me, I think, to let every character kind of have a little bit of their own story and be the star of the show. And so,
not a star.
I know, yeah. But I was thinking if there was, like, for instance, like a weapon that is really well suited for you, or
the knuckle. I want my knuckle buster.
Okay,
the knuckles.
All right, so maybe what we can do is we can craft some even better knuckle busters, like it would sort of suit like a 7th or 8th level character or 9th level character. And part of the thing is that the party could, you could have a hook where you guys go out and look for this thing for you. And then you can just wield it and be a badass. Yes,
that is what I want. And if I could get my lightsaber as well.
The lightsaber would have to be a much higher level. It has to be like more like 15th to a 16th level. But we can start off with so we want to get her some kick-ass weapons, and then with Perry too. Perry's now part of the party, but the thing is, everybody in this party's got drama. I don't know if you noticed, but everyone's got drama, and so
I noticed.
We're not safe here.
And so that's the other thing too that I want to bring you in a bit more, Perry, is for us to work together to develop some sort of thing that could help drive a story around Perry's character. And it doesn't, it can be a one-off thing or it can be a long-running thing. Like the Thelvar thing kind of like sort of pops up occasionally, or a mission would just be go and like, okay, for the next 2 weeks you guys are doing X in order to get Y. So think about something. Yeah, we should talk in
like
the DMs.
The work band that Perry's come across and made enemies of.
Yes, for instance, an enemy would be a fantastic thing. So yeah, we can talk a bit more about that. Okay, all right, good. Then that is what we'll do. Okay, on the off chance that's my camera. All right, excellent. Okay, then with does anyone else have anything else to say at this point?
Yeah, we still need to sort out Thelvar's personal income. The inheritance and any stipend from Haydar's Folly.
Yeah, happily it's not even been a month yet, so...
Also, I'm pretty sure Thelvar still owes Clue money.
Another reason we need to get it sorted out at some point.
Yeah, and when you guys, I already have for like when we plan to get, there's got to be some downtime like in Waterdeep, where like there's going to be after a month of business, I'll need to figure out how much money you get made and how the marketing affected it and a whole bunch of other numbers. So yeah, we can do that income thing at the same time that I'm doing that, and we'll do like a little bit of how much money's coming in, how much money's going out, what do you guys got now? Sort of thing.
That might be the point of time where Mara like scampers off and goes and like attempts to hijack the newspaper.
Yes. And also, one of the things that we could do with Thelvar's income is that rather than having it as a fixed thing, just in the same way that like in Ack Inc. they have a series of things that are like it can go well or go poorly, and then based on that your income can fluctuate, which is a bit more like real life. And so we'll have to talk about like if they're rentals or something, were they anywhere near the damaged parts of the city from the fireball or from the earthquake or anything like that. So yeah, we can kind of have a downtime session where we do those things.
Well, Thelvar's passive income will mostly be from taxes, which will obviously fluctuate throughout the year and depending on...
Okay.
Because essentially it's a fishing community on the river.
Oh, you know what would be a great opportunity to sort that out would be is if you all took a little adventure over to your property.
I was just about to suggest that, so I can show you on the map exactly where I've located that town.
Okay, cool.
And if you wanted to do something that takes us back out there, I have a few names for some of the notable NPCs in the town, so I can furnish you with all that detail and you can flesh it all out if you wish.
Okay. Yeah, if you show me where it is on the map, I know with Ack Inc., most of the other, after the thing that you did in Waterdeep, a lot of the rest of it takes place around different parts of the country, so I'll see if there's anything that maps on where you could, it would be logical for you to do a visit. Otherwise, we'll come up with something.
Yeah, essentially it's south and south and east-ish of Amphill along the river that flows out by Waterdeep. So, well, I can show you exactly, which I'll get sorted out later.
Yeah, we can DM about it and do the deets. Because you're in Neverwinter for the foreseeable future, so... Okay. All right. But yeah, all right, good. Then I feel like I know what direction to go going forward. So that's cool. And it'll also give me an opportunity to play around with maybe creating more encounters like the one that I created for our session yesterday. Which again, yeah, that was a Kristi edition. Okay. All right. So then we can actually start with our gameplay. And I guess we always start by looking back to see what happened last time. And that's Yellow.
Oh. Yep. So, last time we, for the first time ever, decided to leave Waterdeep and go to Neverwinter. So we joined our old friends, well, not that old, actually fairly new friends, Zordos on the ship. And it turns out he has a bit of a past with a woman who turned out to have become a dread captain, who still a bit hung up about it. So she attacked us with a bunch of, I think, zombies, whites, and zombie ogres, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we hear a noise in the night. Most of our party, except for Mara, go out. She just stays in the room. When we notice the threat, most of us prepare for battle. Clue got on the enemy boat. Ibarra spent the entire time under the enemy boat as an octopus just sliding a couple of fires. Then Clue spent most of his time jumping on and off of the boat, just trying to not get murdered.
Yes, these are all true things.
And then most of the enemies got killed by a single fireball from the fireball necklace thrown by Telvar.
Yes, these are all true things. Oh yes.
Don't forget Perry.
Oh, what did Perry do?
Oh yeah, Perry almost died because he tried to attack the death captain.
He did
directly.
Yeah. He went down. Yeah, he was doing death saves.
Yeah, he just got wrecked by a single attack.
Oddly enough, didn't have to do a single death save.
The reason Mara didn't do shit was because she was seasick and no one asked for help.
Yes.
Mara was staying inside. She was doing the smart thing. Mara ain't gonna do shit unless someone asks for help.
Until she went upstairs and then found out afterwards that, yeah, it's like an ex that can't get over Zardos. And then
and he fucked with the dead. You don't fuck with the dead.
And then she totally wasn't jealous. Not at all.
No, not at all.
Yes, and so the crew that there was now that after the storm passes was. Oh, sorry. Was there anything else that we wanted to say before I picked up the narrative again? Is that it? That was it.
Nope, I think we covered it.
Yeah. Alicious made some good, useful contributions as well, and so yeah, it was all good. So the crew that once the storm sort of passes, and it's not you'll see also when the pirate Captain Salome's ship goes sailing past. There's actually two other ships that had attacked the was it the Eye Catcher, the Hellraiser, and one other one I can't. Heartbreaker? Did I say that one already? Anyway,
Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
Basically, yes. And so the three ships sort of like talk to each other and whistles and negotiate, and they were all attacked at the same time. But again, it was more of a harassing thing, and nobody on any of the ships died. But there are a lot of zombie parts now floating in the water. It's attracting a lot of underwater sea things near the boats, but that's fine. Once things have settled down, Zardos sort of invites you down to say thank you to his dining area, and the Nimblewrights there are standing near the bar, and he when you guys, if you want to go down with him at that point, he'll basically offer you anything you want to drink to say thanks.
Oh, something very, very strong would be very nice. Oh.
The Nimblewright sort of raises a finger and takes out this bottle of clear liquid, which is the equivalent of like 150 proof, but kind of like like throws it on there and throws in a little bit of mixers in some spices and whatever else in the shot glass, and sort of like slides it over to you.
Much appreciated. And downs it in one.
Right.
Mara's upstairs, still on the top of the deck, singing "A Horse with No Name."
And is fine with it.
Are you just watching the crew as they sort of like shove the dead zombies off one by one into the water?
She's watching all of the an ocean is a desert with its life under sea. Like she's gone through the loop at this point. She's just not there.
All right. Would Hibara have gone to the dining room, or would she have done something else?
Well, if we left off right where we are, then she likewise is just on the deck watching them chuck the dead bodies.
Okay.
To Mara sing.
Watching Mara sing, because she's always so entertaining. Perry and Clue, where would those two end up?
Perry would be off in search of tea and biscuits.
All right, well, you can get those in the dining
room. Just try and feel a little better after being so roundly flattened.
It is just briefly dead. You were only briefly dead. All right, yeah, you can also get tea in the dining room. That's fine. If you want to make it, add anything in there, you can as well. Otherwise, it can just be straight tea and milk if you want. Clue, where would Clue end up?
Milk on a ship?
I know, right? That's like big no.
Powdered stuff from gnomes.
Ew.
It's not powdered gnomes. It's made by gnomes.
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh God.
But they taste like hazelnut.
I love that mine and Yella's mind went to the same place.
No, all of our minds went to the same place. No, thank you.
Clue, where does Clue end up?
I mean, he's gonna go to the dining room, and considering he still remembers right, so the last day he's gonna keep it calm and just have some grog.
Oh, well, how about some of that Luskin beer?
That also work.
Yep.
Then again, he is on a boat, so if you're gonna drink grog at any point, it's gonna be on the boat.
All right, well, they'll get you some grog. Pull you a carafe? No, I don't know what it is. A stein of grog, and set it down. And Zardoz just says, I'm so embarrassed. Well, does anyone care to know the tale? Or is this just going to be something we pass over in silence?
I'm regretting having Hibara be on the deck now for that.
Well, I do assume that your relation dates back to before she became undead.
Yes, may we. Actually, she's been haunting me for a long time. You see, this is my family's business, but for a while I went abroad. I traveled the world, and actually ended up in Luskin, where I met Salome. At the time was a paladin for the goddess of love, which is a very unique thing, but she did believe in it. At least that is what she said. Very much a free love sort of woman, embracing life and beauty, and there were maybe, I guess, 4 of us in a sort of polyamorous relationship. It was all supposed to be very open and free, but she had her own favorite, Saidal. But Saidal eventually became in love with another woman, and he left her for this woman, and Salome became insanely jealous. All of the things that she preached about love and its beauty and freedom was actually covering up a very deep insecurity, and when he left, she became suspicious of the rest and of us, and became very controlling, and eventually drove all of us away. But her jealousies did not end. Sidon, she bothers the most, but she's been haunting all of us who made the mistake of opening our hearts to her at a very inexperienced age. It's a very long-time regret.
Didn't even fuck up in that one.
Please let Miss Mara know.
Yes, indeed. A very regrettable tale.
Yeah, she's not gonna listen to you and none of that. I'd be like, you a dumbass.
Well, now that you know an embarrassing part of my past, I feel that is enough for one evening. I think if you would all please feel free to turn in. I'm bringing some more of my crew over to keep watch in the course of the night. You do need your rest. I'm aware, and we will be making sure that we all pay very close attention that she does not come back.
Indeed. Oh, that was not a pleasant experience.
I mean, I don't know what you're all about. I didn't even get attacked.
I did. It definitely wasn't pleasant.
Yes. Once I was traveling north of Luskin along this sort of like frozen area to make a delivery. It's a long story. She was waiting in a cove with frost giants to throw rocks at me. It is ridiculous. She likes to throw things.
So I noticed.
Which are like undead frost giants? Because otherwise that was some weird alliance building for a dead knight.
They could have been. I didn't see. I was too busy trying to get my ship away from the rocks.
Fair enough.
Although she's very powerful with anything undead. Don't die around her.
I wasn't planning on dying in general.
Death comes for us all at some point.
I don't know whether it's a good or bad thing now. She may have a grudge against me.
I will hope for your sake she did not notice you or mark you, my friend.
I did put 2 arrows in her.
His eyes get really wide. Like, are you serious? And he puts his hand over his mouth and like oh shit. I hope she did not get a good look at your face.
Oh, I kind of told her she could do better than you, though. To her face. I mean, I wasn't mean. So maybe she's just like, oh yeah, he's cool.
You guys are fucked.
Are you in the dining room now? Is this where you walk in? Is this where Mara walks in?
Mara's still singing, but she's just like, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. Good to be out of the... And then she just hears like what Clue said, and she's just like, you don't fuck with the dead. Like, God.
Just gave her some life advice, that's all.
She's dead. She don't need life advice.
Undead advice then.
Oh my God. It's like going into a horror movie and like you're a white person. What's that sound? Let's walk into it. No, you hide.
I literally have no idea what any of the words you just said mean.
You like walk into the noise, Clue. You literally walk to the noise.
Of course you walk to the noise. You need to know what the noise is.
No. Oh my God.
You're supposed to like have mysterious noises hanging around.
No. When there's a dead thing or a potential for a dead thing, you run the other way.
By the way, I'm picturing that this entire argument is happening like between the glass window ports. You know, like Mara is just at the window screaming at Clue, and Clue is like yelling at her back through the window.
I was picturing that, but also that like there's a Florida difference.
So she's like leaning down.
Shouting, yeah, she's like leaning over the ship and reading.
And then at what Mara's just like pinching the bridge of her nose, and she just kind of looks at Clue, and she's like, "Nonsense! That's what it is. Nonsense!" And she can't even like say what she really wants to say because he's red. Nonsense! Nonsense! I'm not getting killed.
In fairness, there's not anywhere we could really run while on a boat.
We're all gonna die because you pissed off a ghost.
Pretty sure dead knights aren't ghosts, they're completely different things.
I think she's closer to a zombie than a ghost.
Yeah, but you still you pissed off a dead entity. Same thing. You don't piss off the dead.
I mean,
Death Knights are actually very intelligent and very powerful undead.
Yes, but do you want to piss them off, Elvar?
Very much not.
So my statement still stands, regardless of if she is dead or not. You don't want to piss them off.
I mean, I didn't piss her off. I just told her she could do better. How the hell is that pissing somebody off?
Never tell a woman she could do better if she's mad at the thing that made her mad in the first place.
I don't know. That seems kind of like the right thing to do.
Nonsense. Y'all are nonsense. Go into my hungry. Piss me off.
This was very...
Okay, bye, Mara.
No, she opens the door so she can get food. But she's just like, she sits down in a huff and she's very angry at all of you because it's like, we're all gonna die because you pissed off some undead floozy and we're all gonna die. That's what's gonna happen. We're all gonna die because somebody decided to piss off an undead floozy.
She can't see invisibility. That's something I discovered, so I'm fine.
I'll just stay hidden next time.
Yeah, just stay out of sight. And Zardos is particularly disturbing because she did not do something in a rage and then became a vengeance, sort of death captain. She chose to become this so that her hate could live eternally. It's a very tragic tale.
Yeah, because you fucked around with the love.
I mean, if you can't fuck around with a fella, then what's else you left to do? I mean...
Zardos looks at you and says, I cannot help it. I have a weakness for strong, unusual, passionate women.
Mara looks for a biscuit. Does she find a
Perry
biscuit?
just moves the bowl closer to her.
Mara finds a biscuit and throws it at Zardos' head.
All right, go ahead and do. You want to do an attack, like a thrown attack at him, and we'll see. You can do athletics if you want to throw it at him.
Okay. Ah, shit. I'm normally better at my athletics.
Okay, I don't have. I know. I think I know what his dex is, and it's ridiculously high.
Yeah, whatever.
Now I gotta look it up. Hold on a second. I gotta see what his. I gotta see what his plus is on that. So you got a 7?
I got a 7.
If it's more than a +5, which if he's proficient in it, and yeah, it probably more than a +5.
Considering the man is like an 80 over 20, I assume.
Yeah, his acrobatics is +11.
He just flips over it.
He just sort of snatches it out of the air and then he juggles it and then breaks it in half and juggles the 2 pieces and then puts one in his mouth and then puts the other in his mouth.
He just like looks at Zardos, looks at Mara, looks back at Zardos. Like, I get it, man, but like, well, that's not a smart move.
So he's gonna get up and he's gonna walk out and he's a smooth operator.
Oh man, that guy's gonna end up dead. That man is gonna die when Mara just joins the Dread Captain and just burns the world.
No. I no. No, I don't want to be dead. No.
I mean, you don't need to be dead. You just need to join her. Just not.
Yeah.
I mean, like join her as in work with her, not as in like become undead.
Yeah. See, I've worked with the undead before. It's not fun. They're crusty.
I don't tend to smell very good either.
This is very true.
Why am I still learning new things about you?
Because you guys don't ask questions.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't ask questions, people don't ask questions. So
Yeah. If you don't ask questions, you don't get answers. Especially the things that you don't ask questions about. That didn't make sense. It made sense in my head.
I think it kind of made sense. I heard what you meant.
There's a difference between hearing what I meant and saying what I meant.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Me too. All the time.
Words, they are difficult.
Yep.
Yes.
Barry, all you need to know is I've lived a very, very complicated life. If you could call it a complicated life. Lives?
I mean, that's impressive for somebody who looks like 18 at the best.
I know, right? Black don't crack.
Okay. Whatever the fuck that means.
Bar leans in next to Clue. Is 18 a lot inhuman?
No,
Or is that a
it's
little
not.
bit?
I mean, it's like enough where people like pretend you're supposed to know shit, but while you still actually know absolutely fuck all.
Oh, so it's like 100. Okay.
I guess.
I mean, that does describe, 18 does describe that very well.
Right. Yeah, so Zoda says, so off to bed, bonne nuit, et fais des beaux rêves. Means good night and make the beautiful dreams. Yes?
I thought he left.
Yeah, he's on his way out the door. Then you guys started shouting, and he realized he hadn't said goodnight, so he stopped and waited. He's used to this.
He closes the door, opens the door up again.
Just to listen to us argue.
Yeah, he's done a lot of that anyway. He's done a lot of that already. All right, so now, yeah, you guys are on your own. If you want to do anything or have a conversation, like talk at all, like, yeah, learn things about each other.
Learn about Mara. Ask the questions.
So, any other complex issues I should be aware of?
Define complex issues.
Mara's
Let's
personality,
see.
her attitude.
For all of you, really, but jilted lovers, people who might want to kill you, weird spirit things.
I mean, that's a long list, Barry. A long, long list.
None of my enemies live on this plane of existence, I think. I'm beginning to understand. Which is a bonus for me.
That doesn't sound like it'd be a bonus for the rest of us.
Well, it's a bonus for me because you guys don't have to deal with my enemies. Because they don't exist here.
What plane are they on then? Are they just like in the 9 hells?
No, more like Earth Prime. What would we call it?
What?
Earth Prime?
That's not a plane I've heard of.
Yeah, it gets complicated. It could. Is it Earth? Is it 616? I don't know.
That's just numbers, man.
Sorry, can I just bust in? I realized that due to Acquisitions Incorporated actually bringing the characters to the headquarters for Wizards of the Coast, that in theory, if you guys put together the Orrey, Mar could take you to Earth.
What? I can?
It's canon. Yeah, so in an episode of Acquisitions Incorporated, they actually traveled to the headquarters where they like saw the books of the adventures that they were experiencing and saw some of like the stuff. So yeah, they totally played with that. So yeah, in theory, you could, if you had the Orrey, I think it's the only way you can get there.
Well, we're gonna eventually have the Orrey.
All right, so at some point
we just need to repair it.
Yes, which we're going to do.
Yes, then you can then Kelsey and I can collaborate on. Oh, should we go to Chicago? Should we go to Baltimore? Should we take them? And what kind of adventures should we go on?
Oh my god!
Only in America, though.
Yes.
Like, but do we at what point in time do we do it? Do we do it like Chicago during like the height of the mob?
Whatever you want. I don't know. I think the Orrey. Yeah. Why not? I mean, it's a hugely powerful artifact. Actually, when it's all fixed up. So sure, why not?
Oh, this would be off. This is gonna be awesome.
I could just go to 2016 Washington D.C.
To the inauguration. To the inauguration.
Just cast entirely not suspicious fireball.
Yeah, see, that's no fun. In that case, we could just go to 2021, January 6th, 2021. Let's just do that then.
No, I mean, I could do a whole adventure where you take out the Trump inaugural.
Oh.
I mean, if we did do that, then there wouldn't be any January 6th.
Correct.
I mean,
I'm fine with that idea.
Okay.
It would probably be the best outcome if we're being honest, given our group makeup, the amount of non-humans we have.
Oh my god.
All right, so metagaming over. Just planting seeds.
CIA, we're sorry. This is just a game. Please don't come and kill us.
Oh no, he's not the president.
Not actionable.
Yeah, he's not the president anymore, so technically threats against his life are no longer a federal offense.
Yeah, you can't. You gotta tell him that though.
Yeah. I'll talk to the Secret Service if they call.
I don't know if time travel attacks are ever considered a credible threat, to be honest.
You never know. You really never know, though.
Oh, you could Marty McFly this shit, take him back to the Old West? Anyway, okay, back to the boat.
Maybe mythological times would be better.
Well, once you guys have the Orrey... All right, so anyway, back to, yeah, because I don't think Perry knows anything about Thelvar's curse either.
Yeah, I could really see where we could take that. So it's just like, stop the inauguration, assassinate Hitler, and just bounce around time, quantum leaping.
To be honest, I do want to vaguely point out that Mara is war, and I don't necessarily think she would want to kill people that cause a bunch of war. Like, you're assuming like a moral good party is gonna take out like bad people, while instead we're far more likely to just start shit in every age.
I like how you think taking out Hitler would stop the World War.
I think it
depends at which point you take him out and
This is
the
true.
things you do following. But I'm saying Mara is more likely to try and kill Archduke Ferdinand to start World War I than she is to kill Hitler to stop World War II.
True.
You could organize that too.
Ooh. It's like, you see this dude over here driving a car? We gotta kill him. Why? What's he done? Nothing.
What the fuck's the car?
I would have to point out that it wouldn't play out like that. It would be, see that dude over there in the car? We have to kill him. What's a car? That thing. It explodes.
Yeah, Habara would just go.
And somehow that would be more in line with how it was supposed to go down.
Yes.
Yes.
Correcting history.
Yeah, see, Mara would actually be like, all right, you see this grassy knoll over here? Stop the guy from running.
Or no, you guys could like join a Mongol horde invading some city.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would be fun. Well, boys for the future.
Well, there you go.
I'd probably make it kind of like a silly one shot like I did for the training day.
Yes, we'd get a bunch of people like R&D.
Mm-hmm.
I've already signed him up.
I've got a friend who's interested in doing a one shot at some point.
Oh, okay.
She's never done D&D.
Okay.
Well, she should come join our party anyway and just be a part of our like insanity.
On the one hand,
There's no amount of D&D prepares you for this.
Okay, so back to the game.
Yeah.
We can play around with those ideas, yeah, after or whatever.
RD's like signed up for what?
So
So yeah, Perry's asking about your personal dramas, your personal background stories, in case it might intrude upon his life and like this.
Something like that. Just in case he needs to start crafting traps.
I mean,
just kind of shrugs.
I mean, you already know about the gang stuff, right? Because there's gang, kind of fighting the gang. Probably gonna end up being an issue.
I don't think he does. He
Could just
doesn't know
kinda
about he doesn't know about the factions in Waterdeep.
I mean, we fought the gang already with him there, so I assume he's vaguely aware of the gang.
But he doesn't know your.
Do I need to give you?
Well, if you wanted just to say, I explained to Perry like the factions of Waterdeep, I can brief him a little bit later on. Or whatever.
I can give him as well. That's not really. We can RP this out. That's not an issue. He just kind of goes a bit. Okay, 101 on Waterdeep factions. First of all, you've got the Xanathar. That's what I am. We're gray markets, let's say. Not everything
Dark web.
is illegal.
Dark web.
But the things I do is illegal. So we're one big group. Then another big group is there's a guy called Xanathar. He's a big eyeball. Don't question it too much. He runs a big gang that mostly just beats the shit out of people. That's like the main thing they do. End up fighting us a lot because we don't like them. Because we want to own
Except
shit
for
and beat people up.
Except for Jolly. Jolly used to be in the Xanathar until we persuaded him to leave, and now he's with us.
We also killed
his friend and just went like, join us, and he went, yeah, sure. It's an interesting time here. But beyond like the two criminal factions, the important ones to remember are the Forest Grey, which are just a bunch of mercenaries mostly. You have the Harpers, which mostly do like intelligence and are just a bunch of goody two shoes. I'm pretty sure Talvar is one of them.
Force Grey, by the way, just
Cameron.
sorry, can I correct? Force Grey works for Vajra. So they work for the Black Staff
they work
of Waterdeep. Yeah, and
Black Staff, yeah.
They're called out in case of like magical emergencies or other big crises, and they help kind of keep. And a lot of the members here are members of Force Grey. I think 3 of you? Or, okay.
For the rest, you also...
Yeah, it's Salva, Clo, and Hibara.
No, Clu's only a member of the Xanathar. He's not a member of Forest Grey.
Right. Yep. Yes, so then the other is the Emerald...
Enclave, which are a bunch of druids, Ibaras with them. We don't know much about them, mostly because they don't talk to us. Outside of Ibara, who doesn't talk to us about anything he does, really. She just does things, and then we have to, like, kind of assume she's talking to people.
We could just ask her questions.
She is sitting right next to
Does
you.
she look like the kind of... just kind of put, does she look like the kind of person who answers questions?
Well, we could try asking her questions every so often.
She did answer some of my questions, so...
See?
Yes.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, that's on you, too.
By the way, if Perry wants to join any of the factions, well, except for like the Emerald Enclave because he's not a druid, and there's also one for clerics that nobody here is really connected with. But if there are some benefits to, or the Lord's Alliance too, which you guys are also members of, I think several of you, and that's more like a between the cities group, but also an in the city group run by the Open Lord of Waterdeep. But yeah, if you want to, Perry, like get into the Harpers and be a goody two shoes, or get into the Grey Market or into the Force Grey, then these guys can give you an introduction. And there are benefits is if you do missions for the factions and you rise in the ranks because you do them successfully, you get like magic items and other cool stuff. Just FYI, that yeah, it is. That's why I'm glad we're having this little talk.
And then there's Mara, who's just like, I am going to manipulate a newspaper.
It's been a while since Steve Clue has made his appearance.
But I'm sorry. I think people were going to ask some questions of Hibara. I think I interrupted with the.
No, we were giving Clue shit because he was like, well, Hibara doesn't answer questions. And we're like, well, we never ask her questions, so maybe she would answer questions if we asked her questions.
Hibara, would you ask the questions if we asked you questions?
She kind of looks
I
around.
see no answer.
Sure.
Do we have questions?
I don't think we have any
questions.
I don't think we currently have any questions for Hibara.
She has been disappearing. She has been disappearing at night.
I don't think any of us have noticed, though.
I mean, Clue has a passive perception of 21, so assumably he has noticed her sneaking out. He just doesn't care. She's taking care of her shit. What else?
Yeah, it's Hibara. Hibara's always doing that.
She also hasn't been sneaking out. She just leaves.
Okay.
Which is also what she
I mean, it's not like Clue hasn't sneaked out of places for various reasons.
This is true.
Anybody have any specific questions about anybody while we're going around, apparently?
No questions, but as Perry's asking about us, as everyone else knows, I am kind of subject to a bit of a family curse that we are, well, working on getting rid of. But it's nothing you need to worry about. It just means if I ever claim my birthright and take up the lordship of the town that I own, then yes, I will die within a few years. So nothing to worry about there.
Nothing to worry about, he says.
Well, not for any of you. It's only me that will die.
If you take up the mantle lordship of the town you own.
Yes, it's the town that my great-grandfather built.
I mean,
it's our land. We set up the town and we collect the taxes from the townspeople and the farmers. And
I mean, couldn't you just like technically declare yourself like something else than your official title and just like never have the curse activate? I mean, it feels like this curse has a lot of like ways to go around it.
There's your documancy skills are coming out now, Clue.
I mean, he is a tiefling, so he's kind of used to fucking with contracts and getting out of it what he needs. So, I mean, just make your place a democracy. Make sure you're the only one who can run for office and just rule. I mean,
get off the couch.
But that would lessen my standing with all the other nobles, and we can't have that now.
I know this recipe for Rich Boy that tastes quite delicious. But it only goes well if the rich boy is rude. So
Delvar, I do like the implication that you care more about your standing than your life.
Well,
ditto.
If I'm not a lord, then I can't protect the people of Hadar's Folly the way I could if I was a lord. I need to be on an equal footing with the lords of the surrounding lands, otherwise we'll be ripe for conquering. I've got to protect my people.
Sure, buddy. Definitely believe in that.
Since we're on the topic of the curse, this might be a good time for me to check in and see what people remember. Thelvar learned some very important information about the next steps in breaking the curse for his family. What in exchange for being given some information about yourself and also some information about the treasure. Do you remember what you were told by the Stone of Galore about the main adventure that you're on?
Not offhand. No, I'm sure I did note it down somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure where it is right now.
No, that's okay. That's all right because we kind of set it aside for a while, so I wanted to come back and because I know too much about it, I didn't want to say things. if you remember, does anybody have any other recollections? I think most of it was like discussing the castle lanterns, and their little thing going on. But if no one else has any recollection, okay. So yeah, because all right. So one thing that it knows and it's communicated to you is that the to open up the main door to get to the treasure, Daggold Neverember put a lock on it, and the lock requires 3 keys, but not keys like anything anyone's ever seen. They're basically like you have to put the right object in order to unlock the door.
Mm-hmm.
And the objects that have to be put in are 3 black diamonds.
Yeah.
So you need 3 very particular black diamonds.
Any black diamond.
Oh.
And also Thelvar, I would just say, like, you would know that black diamonds are mined at the top of Mount Hortnell, and that they are also, like, then brought down and traded in Neverwinter, and then sometimes they're cut, sometimes they're moved as raw stones, but it makes sense that he would make that the key to his treasure in Waterdeep, because he had access to those as the sort of Lord of Neverwinter. It's more expensive to get them in Waterdeep.
Mm-hmm.
And the also, if I didn't say this, I'm retconning it. It's telling you also know that in addition to this piece of information it's given you, it holds 3 other pieces of information that it can to get you to the treasure.
I believe you did tell us that, or you told Alana that.
Okay.
But if I remember correctly, it wanted stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
Fucks with people's memories. Also, it knows things it shouldn't, and tells people things they shouldn't know.
But yes, there's still 2 pieces of information in the stone. Yeah.
And
wait, have any of us told Perry about
Nope.
the story?
Nope.
Nope.
yeah,
Okay, so maybe we should tell him like something about the Orrey and Stone Glore, so he has like a basic knowledge of the
Or you
things
can just say people look
Yeah.
out for black diamonds.
This can be a meta filling Perry in on this, and essentially Thelvar's attuned to the stone, so whatever's giving the stone sentience is now in Thelvar's head.
Totes a demon.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Hibara thinks.
And although we're all aware it's not a very nice thing, Thelvar is playing along with the stone while everyone else is going to be researching how to free me of it, and without me knowing, because it will know whatever I know, or Thelvar knows. But yeah.
I mean, the technically easiest way to get rid of it was to get somebody else to attune it and then just instantly kill them. But most people aren't willingly gonna let you kill them, so
Most people aren't gonna willingly let. It's not going to be easy to force someone to attune to a magic item, being that it takes an hour.
no. But the thing about it is, it does get people towards those dragons. So there's probably a lot of people very willing to attune to it. Just creating a situation in which you can kill them instantly after. That's the hard part.
Indeed.
So I don't know. What is your plan for getting the rest of the information? Did you ever discuss that?
I don't know if everyone else discussed it, but Thelvar didn't, and Thelvar doesn't want to know because, yeah.
For
I mean, I
a-
think they.
Go on.
Yeah, I think we planned on researching the stone more, but like, we haven't really had time for that yet.
It has only been like 3 days.
Yeah.
It really has.
And we had a business to open, and
Yeah, it's been 3 days. One day's been spent on a boat, and the other day was a festival and our grand opening. So, yeah.
let's not forget the court case.
Yeah, and the court case.
Oh, Perry, were you there? You were there for that, though, right?
Perry was there for the court case.
Yes. Okay.
I think that was like his first or second day.
Yep, that was the first day.
Yeah, Perry had literally like come in. Oh, I decided to take you up on the offer. Oh yeah, come in. Nice. Knock, 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 knock. In come the police.
It was more.
I think he was actually. He came in the morning, then in like the afternoon we committed the crime, and in the evening there was the trial.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really condenses what our party does, really.
All right, so you guys have a little chit chat as the night wears on, and then you can hear there's like a boat arrives, and you can now start to see a patrol that's starting to walk the perimeter of the boat. There are like 3 people who are doing it on a rotation. They kind of pass by every once in a while in the windows in the multi-leveled difference, so you can see their sort of like feet going by or whatever else. And yeah, and when it gets late enough, you guys can turn in if you'd like, or if you want to keep talking, that's fine. Any other updates that I'm not missing? I feel like Perry's still catching up a little bit.
Yep.
Perry also needs a long rest at some point.
Yeah. Well, that's tonight.
And before they get to the whole stuff about the stone, Thelvar's gonna say his good night so they can all discuss that part of stuff away from Thelvar. And yeah, Thelvar's going to go and sleep, recover hit points, and yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yes. If anyone has anything else, otherwise you guys can all have a long rest and top up your hit dice and everything else.
So we're not discussing it?
Oh, what do you want to discuss?
Well, if we were going to discuss the stone.
Oh, well, you kind of did already. There's just retconning it with.
Right. Well, Perry's only suggestion would be they find a slave that uses the unfortunate soul.
I mean, from what I've taken it for anti-slavery, just kind of looks at Thelvar.
Well, Thelvar's gone by now, so.
Yeah, but he, like the second he says slavery, Mara goes, no.
Perry's very anti-slavery.
Good, because the rest of the team pretty much is too.
Chloe's really neutral about it.
He doesn't have a choice.
Not in this group.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, the Stone of Galore, basically it is an artifact that they obtained. They know that it contains information on how to find a cache of 500,000 gold pieces that was embezzled by Lord Neverember when he was Open Lord of Waterdeep before the current Open Lord, Lorraine Silverhand. And then he also moved up to Neverwinter and was trying to do both. He was siphoning off money in Waterdeep and spending it in Neverwinter, and they council kicked him out. So now he's still in Neverwinter. But before he left, he had sealed, when he was gone, he had sealed up this embezzled funds. Oh, and also something else maybe important to the city of Waterdeep. Anyone remember what that is?
The dragon staff.
Oh yeah, the thing Thelvar wanted to gather and just was not there.
Yes. Also, the famous dragon staff of Waterdeep that prevents dragons from flying into the city is also locked up in this vault, they've learned. And the stone holds the key with the information of how to access it. So the stone, basically, like, it wanted information from Thelvar and gave information in return. But also is kind of dodgy, so.
Yeah, all these things are.
Yes. And of course, then they also found this Orrey, which is, it was in an underground cavern underneath Waterdeep that was opened up by a massive explosion that they went and investigated. And it has pieces scattered across the Forgotten Realms, or Sword Coast anyway, or somewhere, and it wants the party to find them. So, and that is also currently attuned to Thelvar, with the proviso that that there has to be, you guys either have to be like looking for it or researching it or putting together a party to go. You have to constantly now be like doing something with the orrery, or after a certain amount of time, if it gets neglected, there's a chance Thelvar could get pretty hurt. So, but it's also an incredibly powerful piece of magic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty, pros and cons, swings and roundabouts. Yeah, magical, powerful magic, but also potentially lethal psionic damage. So, or psychic damage.
Yeah, for some reason we chose to let Thelvar do items.
Thelvar likes living on the edge.
Yep.
So I think, Perry, you're kind of caught up with other mechanics going on in the background now. So I felt like that all of this would maybe been too much, considering you came in on the trial of Hibara. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right, you guys get a restful night. No problems. The next day, it's smooth sailing. It's sort of an overcast day. But as you travel, it takes you well past the early morning, so it gets to be sort of the one that I picked. Found out. Oh, did I put it in the bottom? I did. Okay, I'll just drag it up. As you, start to approach the harbor of Neverwinter, it actually gets a little bit warmer. Like, it gets, it was pretty cold on the sea, but rather than the temperature staying the same, it actually rises. So let's say if it was like 5 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Fahrenheit, it's like going up to 10 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It's definitely warmer as you start to approach the city of Waterdeep. I'm sorry, of Neverwinter, which looks like this. And the ships pull up into the harbor, and they dock, or they anchor near each other, and the little like tugboat, sort of like transport boat, is prepared for all of you to head over to the docks of Neverwinter.
I would like to point out that early in the morning, Hibara would have had Gorko pass out good berries to everyone.
Okay.
Except for Perry. She didn't make one for Perry.
Okay, because Perry's a ghost?
Exactly.
Okay, everyone has a good berry, except for Perry, because you can't die, apparently. Hibara would have been so surprised had she been on the ship fighting next to
Yeah, if she wasn't an octopus, she'd be like, what? She killed a ghost?
How is this possible?
All right. Yes. You guys are taken. Before you leave, Zardos comes to see you off and to wish you well. He also tells you that he is traveling up to Luskan, but then will be traveling back down south, and he can make a stop in Neverwinter in between like 4 and 6 days. So if you guys are back in the city and want to travel back to Waterdeep, but he won't be back for anywhere between 4 and 6 days.
That's much appreciated. If we're still here by then, we will definitely look out for you to catch a ride back to Waterdeep. Thank you very much, my friend.
Excellent, excellent. And don't forget the offer from my employer. A very generous offer. I know he would be interested very much in a response when you have made up your mind.
Indeed, indeed. We will be sure to give it much thought.
So they take you off, and when you get to the docks, there's like a customs person there. They're not looking to move any goods. There are other people too, some members of the crew that seem to want to come ashore as well. And you just go pass through customs. They just kind of like want to make sure you're, are you in water or Neverwinter, like on business, on holiday. They also want to make sure you don't you're not smuggling anything. Like, they don't care if you bring stuff in a bag, but they don't want you bringing shipments in. You guys have a pretty easy time getting into the city. And the city, let me show you. Oh, I've got 2 maps for you, actually. All right, so as you get into the city proper, it is warm here. It is, instead of feeling like Waterdeep was autumn, and you needed your cloaks on, and sometimes gloves. Here, it's so warm by comparison, you want to take your cloaks off. And there are flowers blooming at this time of year. And Thelvar could tell you, having lived in Neverwinter and gone to university here, that there is a fire elemental that lives under, or an elemental force, I should say, that lives under the mountain where the volcano is, and it heats up the mountain in addition to sort of like the core magma and other stuff that's down there. And as a consequence, the ground heats up and the water heats up, and the water flows through the city of Neverwinter to the sea. So all of this warm water is coming through the city, and as a consequence, it's just sort of this little bubble of warmth all year round, where they can even, if they get close enough to the water, they can still grow citrus year round. And so it's a very elegant and very civilized place from what you can see, but Thelvar also knows that because of the volcano exploding, that this big, what is water now down here, that was a massive cavern, a crack that opened in the earth, and magma came in and kind of did a Pompeii on this part of the city, really destroyed a lot of it. And this is what has caused the need for the rebuilding that Neverember is currently trying to organize and bring the city back to its former glory. In addition to the massive damage and opening up a big hole in the part of the city, which is also now the rundown, this is the more poor area. It's not being as built up. There are some repairs, but this is, if you can't afford to live really in the nice parts of Neverwinter, this is where you but that crack, which has recently been filled up, used to be a chasm that went all the way into the Underdark. Yes. Is that what it is? The Mountain of the Mad Mage, right? Down, allegedly, to the Aboleth's chasm. And the city had some real problems with things crawling out of that and harassing the citizens. So they've recently... That's actually happened in the last year. I checked, so I wouldn't give you a map that was out of date. That Neverember has, in the city, they've now paved this, sealed this up, and it looks like to be some sort of water thing. So that's the one of the maps. The other map I have for you has the names of the districts in it and some of the daddy-das landmarks. That's next. Okay. So this one. This is, you were told to go to the Tower District. The Blue Lake District is, this used to be called Black Lake, but they've changed it now to Blue Lake. And this is a pretty hoity-toity aristocratic area. The Protector's Enclave is where Daggalt Neverember does his stuff. And then there's some other things like Castle Never and the House of Knowledge and things like that. So this is basically the city map, and you guys are kind of landed down here at the docks if you wanted to, or you could land over here. you guys can pick where you want them to go. Belvar could help direct the captains to whichever one you guys wanted to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Belvar's pretty knowledgeable about the city. He's spent several years here, so.
Yeah, Chloe is gonna spend his first time in the city he knows fuck all about. That's gonna be interesting.
Mara's just following Thovar.
So, be going with the group because he's not going to get into trouble.
So, where do we want to go to first? Do we want to book up in a tavern or an inn, or do we want to go straight to the Solutions Guild headquarters first?
What were we supposed to do? Supposed to meet somebody in the tavern?
You want me to read it again?
Mm-hmm.
Because Opal is kind of your contact here. So, yes, the note says, I have a contact in Neverwinter who's secured a cache of treasure. Her name is Opal Descart, and you can usually find her in a tavern in the Black Lake District, which is now the Blue Lake District, known as the Stable Quiver. She's a shapeshifter, so I can't say for sure what she'll look like when you locate her. You can suss her out with the passphrase, "That's a big hen house," and she should reply, "Only to a small fox." When you locate her, tell her it's safe to move the cargo along the Platinum Road. And that's it. She'll give you the treasure to get out of Neverwinter safely. The whole affair should take a few hours, and then you can be on your way. Get me the goods when you return.
Okay, guess we're going to the Blue Lake District then. Salvar, which direction is the Blue Lake District?
The Blue Lake District is up to the north. Up to the north, we'll have to go across one of the docks around. It's the other side of Castle Never. It's not too far.
Yeah, you can direct the person piloting boat. They'll take you up to these over here. And yeah, you can go through your customs thing and basically end up right here at Castle Never, which Belvar, you will know from having lived there. Let me just pull. It was the historical seat of the rulers of Neverwinter, but the eruption of Mount Hotnow and various attacks in the years since have reduced it to rubble. Neverember had made the rebuilding of the castle his top priority, and much of the city's steep taxes went into doing that. It also Neverwinter's worst offenders, murderers, traitors, and tax cheats, are imprisoned in the ruins of Castle Never. Locals call this prison the Holes, because trying to free someone from the holes is a good way to end up in them. So it's a pretty daunting, scary looking place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You guys kind of go past Castle Never, and did you want to say something?
Yeah, as we're making our way there, Thalvar's going to do the thing with the Orrey to try and figure out roughly which direction to the part of the Orrey that we're here for as well.
Yeah, it seems so when you kind of attune to it and hold on, check something. It doesn't give me a map. So we're gonna say it's north. It's actually, now that you're in Neverwinter, it still feels it's kind of feeling like it's still a bit north of this.
Also, while we're walking there, Clue is just gonna be listening out for just random people in the street talking, so he can pick up the local accent.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and give me a perception check. See how well you can distinguish.
13.
Yeah, you're kind of getting the ones that there are some that are a little subtle with noises that you can't quite master, but there are also like there's one that people use a lot that's a kind of off of Waterdeep, but in a way that you think you could mimic.
Okay.
Okay. Any more for any more?
Not until we get there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so you make your way through. The Blue District is a very, very nice area. Very bougie. I can
Mara's getting stares because she's still dressed in that ridiculous outfit.
Does Habara still have her felt hat on, or did she lose it when she turned into an octopus?
Well, I mean, it goes with her when she turned into an octopus.
Wait, so there was an octopus wearing that felt hat?
No, it dissolved into the octopus body, like the rest of her clothes do.
Oh.
I guess the real question would be, well, no, she doesn't sleep. She just meditates.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So, yeah, I can't see any point where it probably would have fallen off, because, like, if she sleeps, I would be like, okay, yeah, she probably fell off when she was sleeping, so it's left on the boat. But nope, I guess she's still wearing it.
Huh.
I mean, you should probably take it off before we enter the bar, Ibarra. Just be slightly less conspicuous.
It doesn't matter. Frickin' Mara looks like a flamenco dancer.
I mean, Clue's green.
Apparently he's still wearing his mask, so...
Ibarra looks at Clue. Take what off?
Clue just like flips the helmet off her head.
Oh, I forgot about that.
How do you not know what's on your head?
Well, do you think about what's on your head all the time?
If it was cutting off my peripheral vision, sure.
I guess. She goes into the bar.
No, get off of me.
Yeah, so you guys walk over. Oh, because you.
As soon as she goes into the bar,
What are you doing? Regulus.
as soon as she opens the door, steps foot into the bar, she yells, "Look at all them chickens!"
All right, so as you guys are approaching or walking around in the Blue Lake District.
That's what she thought the code word was, by the way.
Right, got it. Look at all these chickens. No, I'm just describing you walking up, right? Yes, it's got quite, broad streets, as you can see, and things are very well signed. And there's a sign with a quiver. So, yes, as you see that pointed out and agree that that's the stable quiver. Yes, Habara just pushes the doors through and makes her chicken statement as she enters the tavern.
Mara is doubled over in laughter. She's dead. Like, holding on to, like, the door frame, preventing anybody else from getting in is like... like
Mara is also just standing there, too.
Like
not moving inward more, just standing
at the doorway.
So the both of them are just kind of blocking the way in.
Chloe's just gonna try and sneak past, just ignoring them.
But no one understands why Mara is dying.
Thalvar's just standing behind them all, head in his hands.
Perry?
Harry just shrugs. He's come to expect something like this. It's been 3 days and he's already learned.
Yep.
I guess I should ask, should I do a perception?
To see if anyone reacts? Yeah, you go ahead and do a perception check, look around the room. Yeah, so I'll just say this is for everybody. The interior of the bar. So the Stable Quiver is a sort of nondescript but well-built tavern. It has a mix of clientele, what looks to be sort of like lesser nobles, maybe some artisans, middle-class merchants, some skilled laborers, and also there's looks to be a half-elf dude who is behind the bar, As Hibara, pushes the door open and makes her announcement, the whole room looks up at her and all conversation stops. And then there's a pause for 3 seconds. And then everyone just looks down and goes back to their conversations.
No one says anything with the doubled over, scantily clad person.
Oh, that extended the pause for a second and a half.
Oh, okay.
Because through the back of it, you just see like Mara falling over laughing. They're like, oh, it must be some sort of inside joke.
Nope. Mara's just dying.
Is there inside the bar? Is there any place where people are playing cards or otherwise gambling?
Yeah, so it's actually very filled up tavern. When you walk in, there are actually no empty seats available. Let me go ahead and get you a picture of the tavern.
Interior.
Look at all the work I did for you guys. That's kind of, I don't know. There's like, whenever I looked up these tavern images, it's all white people. Like, I'm like, what is going on in these establishments?
In fairness, the Neverwinter Nights games, it's pretty much all white people.
Okay, oh yeah, the source
Neverwinter
material
hasn't changed. The
Yeah.
only thing I'm going to ask is, does this half-elf have an Irish accent?
So really?
I
So they're
don't know
not
yet.
at all like disturbed by the fact that there is a scantily clad, dark-skinned woman dying of laughter. If they're all like white people,
They're
Come
more
on, Kristi,
scared
you
of
gotta work.
Luskans and Drow.
I mean,
Come
to
on,
be
Kristi,
fair,
you gotta
it's
work a
kind
little
of
harder
fancy
there.
problem too.
I mean,
Just in
being
general.
brown in a world where literal half devils exist really isn't that noticeable comparatively.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is Neverwinter. They've seen. Oh, actually, they've got like the city guard. Like a lot of it was destroyed when the city was destroyed, and Neverember doesn't like working with the local existing police. So he's like hired out mercenaries, and he hires retired or people who did adventuring, and so they're kind of used to a pretty mixed crowd here in Neverwinter.
Mm.
A lot of uni students too, pranking and hazing and stuff. So
There's going to be a lot of nods and a lot of jokes about arrows.
but there are people gambling. Yes, there are some people playing with dice and other people who are playing cards. Also, can you give me a perception check for when you move through the room, Clue?
Okay.
Actually, Perry might. Do you speak Thieves' Cant?
Yes.
Can you give me a roll too, Perry?
Perception, you said.
Yes, perception. Correct.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, Perry, you're sort of distracted, but Clue, as you pass through the room, you're pretty sure that some of the conversations are happening in Thieves' Cant. If you want to walk through, when you do walk through.
Mm-hmm.
Is Clue sneaking through?
No, I mean we're in a bar. What did you expect him to do? Just like crouch and pretend people don't see him?
There
Well,
are.
no, I'm just wondering, like, how sneaky is he being? Because with the non-reaction, Hibara would just follow him.
There are spots open, like stools at the bar, but all the tables are filled up.
No. Mara finally gets off her ass from laughing. You stop, Regulus. God. And rolls perception. There we go.
What's she looking for?
Just kind of like checking out what people are playing and all that kind of fun stuff.
Oh, okay. So
Looking to see if anybody's playing spades.
nobody's playing spades. There's some Lucky 13 being played. There's also like a poker being played, but no spades. No
Oh, the
games.
shame.
So
As she walks to the bar, she's like, white people nonsense. No spades. This is what I get for not getting invited to the cookout.
Bland ass potato salad bringers.
Yeah. No. They probably put raisins in it.
So there's multiple gambling tables, I assume.
Correct.
Spread around or just like clustered together?
No, they seem to be sort of like pickup games wherever. A couple of them. So
Okay.
do you want to like have a look at some of the tables, assess some of the players?
Yeah, he's just gonna like. Well, he's looking for the was the changeling that we're looking for.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to notice those, unfortunately.
Yeah. Kind of tough.
Mm-hmm. And it's a big
Serious?
bar, so you really need to shout if you wanna have anybody assured here. So yeah, he's just looking around, looking for anybody that looks suspicious, I guess.
Okay, go ahead and give me another perception check to see if you can find, or insight, to see if you can like look for some.
Insight is actually better.
Yeah, there's a lot of dodgy fucking people in here.
My kind of place.
Well, technically, there's a lot of dodgy people in Neverwinter. Period.
I mean, at least they're not trolls coming out of the floor.
Mhm.
It's no yawning portal, that's for sure.
Mara will never forgive Clue.
Yeah. Secret
So
backstory.
what?
There's a reason Felvar has his coat.
Every single time they go to the yawning portal, Mara's Mara imperceptibly like crosses herself. She's like, I know I'm not Catholic. Please God, don't strike me down. But you created me, please God. Don't let the troll crawl out of the pit.
Okay, Clue is just gonna like look for the people gambling that look the most suspicious and try to join them.
Okay, yeah, you can head over, and they're playing. What do you want to like? Lucky 13 here? You want to play that, or you want to do some
if
cards?
Let's just do Lucky 13. Easy
Okay.
enough.
All right. Yeah, so you go over to Lucky 13 table. They seem to have no limits. Just seems to like keep going and going and going. So at this point, they are in the middle of a game. Did you want to sit and watch till the end?
Yeah, he's just gonna make some idle conversation, making sure to put on a Neverwinter accent.
Okay.
As soon as Clue stops at the table,
Yeah.
like as soon as he gets to the table, Ibarra's gonna come lean from behind him and just say, and just again shout at the table, look at all those chickens.
They all sort of like startle and look up at her.
And again, Mara has sat down at the bar and is now flat against the bar, dying of laughter again.
Clue just goes, I taught her one phrase and she just keeps repeating it. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah, they kind of like, yeah, that is kind of weird. Maybe don't startle us like that again, little lady. Thank you. Yeah, you know her?
Unfortunately, yes.
You might want to keep her away from people when they're playing games. Like,
I want to keep her away from me when I'm playing games, that's for sure.
Wow, chicka wow
What? Just across the room, just stares at Mara.
So as you're having this little side conversation, someone rolls 13 and he wins a pretty big stack of coins that have gathered in the middle of the table. There's a roar that kind of goes up, and a couple people get up and say, oh, that's me out, and a couple other people kind of move forward to start to take the seats, but there is one chair available.
Yep, Clue's gonna take that seat.
Okay. Well, let's hold the pause on that and cut to, are other people doing other things?
Mara's sitting at the bar.
Okay.
Felvar too, gonna order a drink.
So the group of people changed at this table that Clue is now sitting at, that Hibara is now standing behind him.
Yes.
Please, Hibara.
She's gonna yell in their general direction, look at all these chickens.
And a new bit of
Please,
laughter
Hibara,
from
can you leave? Go play with Mara or something.
The people at the table are now looking at you, Clue.
Please,
This would be a good
please, I
time
need
for-
just.
This would be a good time for Perry to turn up with a large flagon of ale and just put it into Mibara's hands.
I don't think I've ever seen
what-
that part.
I mean, you can.
What are you doing, Perry? Oh God, I just want to play some dice.
So wait, Perry puts a veil and what in her hands?
A large flagon of ale.
Oh, a flagon of ale. Okay.
Oh god.
In Habara's hands? What does Habara do with the drink?
She's now holding a flagon of ale.
Standing behind
Perry would
clothes.
say quietly,
Yep.
"Stop saying that."
But that's what we're supposed to find the person with.
You're supposed to do it on the quiet. Not,
Then
you know,
how
not
would
draw
you
attention.
know?
Clue just like kind of like tries to like kick Hibara's feet, just like sort of subtly, just let me do my thing.
She hands him the flagon of ale.
He's like, okay, thanks. Puts it down, keeps staring at her.
Oh god.
Kelsey, do you have external speakers? Because I'm getting a little bit of an echo when other people talk on your.
Is it me?
Yeah.
I mean, oh god damn it.
Yeah, you could just turn them down a little bit. It'd be perfect.
I don't have external speakers though.
Oh, sometimes when I have my headphones on, I actually have an external speaker and I can't hear because I have my headphones on. So something must be bouncing around and getting picked up by the mic. Not quite sure.
Well, it's the dogs fighting because they're assholes and I don't have a chocolate to hit them with. So
Okay.
God.
All right. So yes, back. Okay. So so Perry is over. You already got a flagon of ale. How'd you manage that?
I asked him if it would be a good time. I didn't say.
Oh, you didn't do it.
have.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So is Perry going to go over to the bar to get a flagon of ale?
I mean, I think he would have had to, considering what's happened.
Okay.
But afterwards, he'd just go, "Okay, I'm going to take Hibara outside."
So yes, there's a bartender. He's a half elf. You notice that he's got a birthmark on his face. It kind of looks like an octopus, a little bit of a shape. And comes over and says, what are you having?"
Ales for the party.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So he's just going to go through because it's himself, Hibara, and Clue, wasn't it?
3 ales coming up. Right. And it looks at you, Mara. What can I get for you?
Scotch, 2 fingers, no ice.
Okay. And Delvar, this is for you.
I'll have an ale, thank you.
All right. So he nods and goes and starts fetching glasses, fills up 4 ales, slides 3 over to Perry, says that'll be 6 silver pieces. Slides 1 over to Thalvar and says that'll be 2 silver pieces, and then goes over and does a very generous 2 shots of scotch, and slides it over and says that'll be 5 silver pieces.
Mara looks at him and goes, "With what pockets?"
I don't know where you keep your money. It could be someplace else. In your shoe?
Oh, don't worry, Mara, I've got it.
Mara then, like, very flexibly lifts her foot up and puts it on the counter. "In these?" And she shows off the very strappy heel to, like, indicate that, like, I can hide money in my shoe.
Says those are really nice. Where'd you get them?
Roll quarters in the heel.
I hide daggers in the heel.
That's a good idea. It's still 5 silver pieces.
Silver, I'll owe you one, please.
And when you take your foot down off the bar, he kind of gets out a cloth and wipes where your shoe was on his bar. They're pretty flexible. Are you with the circus?
You wish.
All right, yeah. So you guys have your drinks. All right, cut back over. Perry, are you taking over the flagons of ale to your friends? Okay.
And then try and drag her bar outside.
Oh, this will be good. Okay, how do you do that?
Okay, Hibara, let's go outside where it'll be quieter and we don't make people angry. Hibara?
Are you just does Perry just say that, or does he like
Just now,
grab
yes.
her hand, or does he just grab her hand while he's saying that, or something?
He's not going to grab her hand at first.
Oh Lord, this is gonna go either really well or really badly.
She just sort of stares at him.
Come on, let's go outside. We don't want to cause trouble. No?
Is he pulling her now?
No, he might try it.
Doesn't say she doesn't. She continues just to stare at him, and then she takes one of Clue's flagons now that he has two.
No,
And
he
takes
only
a
has
sip.
one.
She gave him hers. Remember?
Oh, god damn it. Fair enough.
Takes a sip and then puts it back.
You can bring the drink.
I'm good.
Okay. He'll probably need it anyway. So we go outside.
Hibara, what are you doing?
Oh, now she's turned around to watch whatever Clue's doing at the table.
Come on, guys, let's just start this game. Sorry.
All right, who else wants to play
so
Lucky
sorry.
13 with pretend money? Anyone else? You have to roll 3d6s if you remember. You can play the other. You guys can NPC the other players of the game, so it's not just me and Clue.
Okay. I'll NPC.
Okay. Anyone else want to play? Harry, it's super easy.
Was it
I'll be right back.
3d6s?
Yep, you're trying to roll 13. It's 1 gold piece to stay in every round. Okay.
Fair enough.
All right,
Rather
so-
Penny would actually play this right now. He might be a bit embarrassed.
All right.
No, so close.
Wow.
Oh! Well, Hibara, you're not playing. You're behind Clue.
Oh no, that was for an NPC.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll roll 2. All right. Hibara and her NPC, but Clue, you get 1 piece of gold because the people won in the first round. Are you still in?
Oh,
Yeah,
presumably,
come on, it's only 1 gold.
All right, everyone ponying up a gold again.
I would have thought that would be
If it's-
between the pair of them. So
yeah.
I thought there were 4 people playing. Who else rolled?
Stelvar?
Oh, I see. I missed those
Well,
at the top.
Stelvar didn't
1,
play.
2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5. Okay, yeah, 2.5 gold peach. Sorry, my bad. I just missed out 1 when I was adding them up. Okay, we in again?
Okay.
Mm.
All right, everybody roll. All right. Another gold, everybody. More for Clue. He's the only one with real money on the table. Roll again. Is that everybody? Yeah, another one.
Mhm.
3.
Okay.
Add 3 gold. And roll.
Four.
Yep. Getting kind of expensive now. Can always drop out, someone says. And roll. How much money do you have, Clue?
I mean,
Personal.
only like 20.
Okay.
20? So, I mean, I kind of, depending on the bet, getting a bit bigger at the very least. So, actually, us missing some things is good. Now, the last one for 5. Come on.
9. That was everyone, right? 6. It's starting to stack up on the table now. People are looking over.
Nice.
Ooh,
Someone.
that's a big hen house.
Oh, yeah. See if anyone ties. No. Oh, yeah, like a roar goes up. And Clue, it was to 7, right?
Yep.
7 times 6 or 5? 7 times 5. Yeah, so you get to sweep up 35 gold pieces. Yeah. People are like, oh.
As he like wins, he just yells, "That's the big hen house!" It's like hoping anybody reacts to it.
Someone leans over, is like, "Are you guys into chickens? Is this like a kink for you?" I mean, it's fine. I'm not judging. It's just it's new to me.
It's just a saying from wherever from you had a chicken. It's not just Bar just keeps saying it, and I don't know why.
Mara, of course, hears the saying, and then is it a kink for you guys? And Mara's response, of course, is bound chicka wow wow.
So, yep, not a response he needed. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he made money. He's not gonna complain.
By the way, one of the people at the table said normally when you have a big hand or a big win like that, it's customary to buy a round. Makes things go smoother for the people who lost their money.
I mean, fair enough.
Good
Just
man.
like stands up, round.
The bartender sees you and he's like, how many?
Just like he puts up 5 fingers.
Yeah, and he nods, kind of like nods at you, and yeah, so. Right, yeah, he pulls the drinks and brings them over, like in clusters, and sort of sets them in the middle of the table before the money starts piling up again, and everyone drinks to you and your victory, Clue, and yeah, then the bartender comes over and he says, okay, that's 10 silver pieces, please.
Okay, he hands him the 10 silver pieces and just goes to the rest of the table. Well, I'm not gonna press my luck. Tomorrow be with you, and just leaves.
Yeah, they sort of like say goodbye and you wave, can get back and start rolling another hand.
So not among them.
I guess.
Well, while that's
Really
going
was-
on, Thelvar's going to be sat at the bar looking around to see if he can spot anyone that's likely to be the contact.
Given that Opal is a shapeshifter, what are you looking for?
Okay, I suppose what I could do with that, if I use the rumor mill, I should be able to get something that would possibly help me identify the contact, being that the rumor mill is part of the Solutions Guild, and we're looking for a Solutions Guild contact.
Okay.
So DC 15 history. Oh yes, I make it.
So let's see what. And this is from the other creatures, organizations involved in the mission. Okay. You learn that Opal is in the employ of Acquisitions Incorporated. That she's been working to move caches of treasure and purchasing rare diamonds. So the thing is that the information that you're looking for, rumors or whatever else, like the most up-to-date stuff isn't in the rumor mill. So if something happened in the last couple days, you wouldn't know about it. I'm just kind of saying. So.
Okay, then Thalvar will look around and try and spot anyone that looks as if they're waiting for someone.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check. Okay. You don't notice that there is anyone who seems to be waiting for anyone, but you do notice that there is someone who is keeping their eye on Himbara. Now, you aren't sure why, but it does seem to be like the one person who isn't acting like they're just relaxed and having a good time. And this person is, let me just get a description, a petite human who wears a nicely tailored suit and has slicked back gray hair, even though she doesn't look like she's older than 30. Seems to be like, yeah, keeping an eye on Hibara.
Okay, Thalvar will pick up their drink and head over to the table and is like, mind if I join you?
She says, no, go right ahead. You came in with the chicken lady.
Yes. My friends over there, they can be a bit eccentric, with the look at all these chickens and that's a big hen house.
Yeah, I don't really use those phrases, so I guess maybe that's more of a country thing.
Indeed. If you think they're weird, you should hear what my friend at the bar there comes out with at times. It was very bizarre. I really don't understand it myself.
Quite the eccentric group you have, then.
Indeed it is. It's all their first time here in Neverwinter, but I lived here for a few years myself, so I'm a little more familiar with the way things are here. I went to Neverwinter Academy, you see.
Well, I'm a local here, Magul Vlut.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, she offers her hand. Yes. So you were away from Neverwinter and now you're back? Moving back?
Not permanently. We're kind of here on a vacation of sorts.
Oh, well. Yes, it's always a good time to visit Neverwinter in the winter or the autumn, because it is much warmer here than anywhere else on the Sword Coast.
Indeed it is. It's very cold down in Waterdeep at this time of year, so it's definitely good to get away from time to time.
Yes, quite.
Sorry?
No, I didn't say anything.
So, you seem to have a interest in my friend there, or is it just with the weird phrases she comes out with?
Yes.
Nah, fair enough. So, what is it you do here in the city?
Oh, I'm sort of an importer-exporter, acquirer of things, brokerer of things. Basically, I move things around where they need to go.
Jolly good. I'm very much interested in things myself, especially those out of the ordinary. I'm a bit of a magic user and a monster hunter, mainly by trade.
Oh, So, do you have any interesting items that maybe you don't need anymore because you've upgraded? Interested in, like, offloading, like things that you find in your adventures?
Well, I did have a necklace of fireballs until yesterday, but unfortunately I don't anymore. But I am, as I say, have my eye out for some interesting items like, say, black diamonds or strange device parts. They would. I'm a bit of a tinkerer from time to time, so.
Well, I don't know anything about parts. I don't really do kind of gnomish things, but if you're looking to move some assets into, other more portable assets like diamonds, that'd be something, I've been known to work with, and help move around the city. So let me know.
Jolly good, jolly good. Yes, I will. Most definitely. I would give you my business card, but I don't think it would be much use to you up here in Neverwinter. But,
Okay.
I'm sure I know where to find you.
Yes, there's a whole bunch of us regulars who come to the stable quiver.
Jolly good, jolly good.
Sort of smiles at you.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, and
Likewise, offers her hand.
takes hand and shakes it. I'm sure we'll be doing business in future. I should be getting back to my friends now.
Oh, of course, and do let me know if you need to do some business transactions.
Oh, I most certainly will, thank you. Albert takes his drink and heads back to the bar. Sits back down next to Mara. Well,
How'd your flirting go?
not the person we're looking for, but a useful person nonetheless.
You sure?
Possibly. Indeed. They're a bit of a fence by the sounds of it, so they might have some interesting things that we could procure should we need them.
But aren't we looking for a fence?
Yes, but this isn't the fence that we're looking for.
This is not the fence you're looking for?
They didn't recognize the code phrase, so...
Or the droids.
Alright. But you did have a particular... She seems to be still... Okay, what the... Alright, now I'm getting feedback on my own mic.
As you two are talking, the bartender, whose name is Squid, by the way. I've been waiting to say that, so I'm just going to say it. Comes toddling over and just looks at your drinks and like, you doing okay? You need another scotch there?
The scotch is a little young, but it will have to do.
Okay.
I'll have another ale, thank you.
So he'll take your glasses and go and refill them. Bring them back.
So what do you think our next step should... What do you think our next step should be?
I'm not sure.
I'd like to avoid to just repeat the sentence over and over again against different people, because that's just weird, but at the same time we're running out of options.
Jesus Christ, Clue, where did you come from?
I am stealth.
Did the letter say what it is we're supposed to get?
No, we're just supposed to make contact.
And say to have to move things over the Platinum Road, so... I mean, it's mostly find a contact, and they told us nothing about how to recognize the contact.
Well, because they
Just,
can't recognize
to be honest,
contact.
Which is an oversight. You need like a signal to be like, oh yeah, look at that guy. Like, just have them wear something. I don't know.
And we don't know what we're
usually do
supposed
it.
to get.
I mean, we're so supposed to tell them to do a thing.
Are you guys having this conversation in the bar, by the way?
Yeah, he seemed to be.
Apparently.
He's just going to walk out at this point and sit down by the street and
Yeah, the lady who was looking at her bar is looking at her bar again. But when she sees you notice her, she kind of looks away.
You can't tell who they are.
Well, well, it would be difficult to give a description of a shapeshifter after all.
I mean, you can make them wear clothes. How do you figure this stuff out?
Yes,
Talking to your fist,
then
apparently.
remember that they didn't know when we'd be arriving, so you can't expect someone to wear the same clothes every day and indefinitely.
I mean,
Yeah, but
you
they could
just need
wear-
like one accessory. Just like, oh, you have to wear a red ring or something. It's just like, oh, that's most people ruled out. But
Let me know if/when or whatever you guys want to hint.
so it's just entirely bar, or is it a bar and like in combination?
It's just a bar. Can't stay here, unfortunately.
Okay. And all single floor?
Yep.
And we have no idea what it is we're picking up, right?
You know that she's got treasure, and she's going to hand over the treasure and with some sort of, she's going to give you something. Is from the message.
But we don't know if like
do you want to hear the
or
Do you want to hear the note again? Well, Thelvar's kind of worked it out. But do you want to hear the note again? People? Yay and nay?
I mean, I know the code words. I know we're looking for a shapeshifter. Those are the two main things that matter right now.
How about her name? Do you remember her name?
I've just lost it. Nope.
Okay. It's Opal Discart.
Oh yeah. Discards.
OPPALSCART.
Changelings are just.
She's a
asking for them by name.
She's a shapeshifter.
So yeah, just like asking for her by name probably isn't gonna help.
Have you tried?
I mean, what's the point of putting a shapeshifter somewhere if they're gonna be if they change form but keep the same name?
Because it might be a code name or a fake name.
Okay, guess who's gonna approach a random table and ask if they know an opal?
No!
No! And Mark
You
points
ask the
to the
barman
lady.
with a coin of silver.
I feel like the better option would have been to ask the bartender, but
I mean,
Or the lady that keep.
I have only been parading him around all over your interactions. Hi, I'm the bartender.
Suggested that, not Hibar.
What did
And
the octopus say?
You know she's a regular here. This is where she usually hangs out. So I didn't hide him.
I mean, it could also be the fence that told us they were a fence.
Yeah, but we already tried the code phrase.
And she's also mean mugging frickin' Habara for apparently no reason.
Are you sure there's no reason?
There have been plenty of reasons.
Well, I mean, everybody else is kind of ignoring Habara, but this one fence. Like, that screams like something's up. So it's either the bartender or it's the fence. And I like how I completely forgotten this woman's name, and I'm only calling her the fence.
Yeah, the bartender's probably not the contact, but might know who the contact is.
Or it's the fence.
I mean,
Well, if the fence was the contact, why did when I gave her the code phrase, she didn't give the reply?
Because we've already basically gone ahead and shouted the code phrase to the entire bar.
So
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't have. No. She's actually not the friend, or she's not the person you're looking for. She is a fence, but she's not the person you're looking for. I wouldn't mess with you like that. I would definitely not lie to you about. I will never lie to you, unless I have to hide something for you for a later reveal. But I wouldn't mess with you.
You're not R&D.
No, I'm not.
The entire point of Clue yelling the code phrase as if it was like a saying is that if she was like in earshot, she'd just be like, "Oh yeah, that's the guy who's looking for me."
mhm.
So apparently she was not near those tables at the very least.
Nope.
Sure. Anyway, I mean, if I was the fence after hearing it and then hearing the mess up, and then I wouldn't respond. But granted, that's me.
That's okay. I had to metagame that so that you guys wouldn't. Yeah, I don't want. Yes, I just wanted to clarify that.
So we don't end up burning the bar down.
Because that's
And the
something
night's
we would
still young.
definitely. That is definitely something we would all do. Is definitely burn the bar down.
Well, it's something a bar would do. But
Oh, don't act like we wouldn't do it. We can't find our feds. What's the next step? Get into a fight and burn the bar down.
I mean, Clue has no spells that can light things on fire, so. I mean, it's only really Tova and Ibarra who have the real fire starter capabilities.
Okay, he has a tinderbox.
Yeah, but it's slightly hard to like make that work in like a full like bar. Just like just don't pay attention to me. I'm just in the corner starting a fire.
That is a big juxtaposition. I can do flamethrower. And light anything I touch on fire. I have a tinderbox.
I can rub sticks together.
Mara's just like, I'm gonna hang out somewhere else. Okay, bye. All right,
So someone asking the bartender?
go. Apparently not.
The bar would not be in on this. I just have to,
Not even if Barrow notices the octopus-like birthmark.
Yes, his name is Squid.
Glee just goes up to the bartender and just like tosses a coin at him and just goes like, "Do you know an opal?"
He looks at the coin. What did you throw at him?
And I'm just gonna throw a gold at him. I made a bunch of money.
Okay. No,
Or something.
he's like, well, for that much, I know a couple opals. Anyone in
Chicka
particular?
wow wow.
I mean, one that happens to be a shapeshifter would be nice.
Kind of looks at the money again. He says, that's kind of valuable information, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of things are valuable information, but
I mean, I've just been listening to you guys argue about this stuff for the last 5 minutes, so price went up.
I am very sorry.
if you've been listening us for the last 5 minutes, you also know keeping us waiting is as much a risk to you as it is to us.
Yeah, making sure we don't blow up this place. Mara leans over and looks at him and goes, I learned a new trick. And she kind of bats her eyes at him and looks at him deep into his soul. I'm going to be using, let's see. I'm going to try something. If I can get my computer to wake up and log me back into my computer. God fucking damn it. There we go. I want to use persuasion, but Mara looks deep into his soul and goes, "What is your deepest desire?"
All right. So, do you have any kind of spell, or you're just gonna use? You're just gonna try to charm him with?
I'm just
charm
gonna
him?
try to charm him.
Yeah. Okay, then, does anyone help her with anything? Otherwise, I'm just gonna have you roll a persuasion check. I'm gonna say, like, if anyone has a guidance or anything you want to give Mara, that would be the time. But yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, wait, can I?
know, Cool has a lot of things with which he could be helping Mara. He will be using none of them.
Okay. Did you, Kelsey? Did you have something you wanted to do, or just straight up persuasion roll?
I just did a straight up persuasion roll.
Oh, a 13.
Yeah.
He kind of smiles back and he says, "Yeah."
I don't know if that's going to be much help.
For you perhaps, but not for Mara, who he's looking at right now. But if you want to try that, you can. He says, "Oh, you have a lovely, lovely smile and lovely, lovely eyelashes. But I also see lovely people come here through every night, and information is knowledge, and knowledge is power, and power is worth money."
Look, my friend.
Then she goes, "You know what? Fuck you."
He's just staring at this just with amazement.
All right.
Mara.
Let's see how he does. What do you roll? Intimidation. I guess insight maybe to see if you're bluffing. So. Oh shit, he matched you. Bartenders, man. Fucking bartenders. He kind of like looks at you and he sizes you up and then he's like, "It's not worth fighting over, is it? I mean, come on, we're talking about 4 gold pieces. Or you know what? I'll tell you, that's Opal over there." And he points at like a really old dwarf that's asleep in the corner, drunk. And he says, "Hey, Marvin, wake Opal up." Marvin looks at me and is like, "Opal?" Points at him. "That's Opal now." Like, "What? Okay. Hey, Opal." And he sort of like tries to knock the drunken dwarf, and the guy's just like, "Fuck you, Marvin." He goes back to sleep. And everyone just starts laughing in the bar around you guys at this little thing.
I am very sorry about my friend here. He's not great with the social niceties. But look, we are here for scheduled business with Opal. We mean absolutely no harm. If you could see it in the kindness of your heart to earnestly help us out, it would be mightily grateful.
You know what doesn't pay my rent? Kindness.
I assume tending this bar pays a part of your rent.
Yeah, that and, you know, providing information in a supply and demand kind of way. You know, you have a high demand and I have some information you could use. Or, you know, you could ask other people. Yep.
I wonder if you'll miss a couple of fingers and if that will make you be able to tend the bar.
He kind of smiles at you. He's already sussed you. I'm going to give him advantage because he's already seen through your bluff. He's seen through your bluff once.
Who said anything about it being a bluff?
Well, he got a 15. Just straight roll.
Oh, come on, my friend. Just be kind to us, would you?
Dole out the money.
Clue just like throws another 4 gold at him. Just fucking tell us, man. This is a waste of our time.
See, now this guy understands the value of things. All right. Well, look. I kind of played a bit of a mean trick on you, but that's all right. You still need this information. I'm afraid Opal got herself nicked. Funny thing was...
Oh, for fuck.
So she's dead?
No, she's been arrested.
Oh.
Not necked. Nicked.
Yeah, British slang. Sorry.
Yeah, he should have had a Cockney accent. Yeah. Oh, afraid nope. Opal got herself nicked. Funny bit was, what with all the blows she's broke, She gets picked up for something she didn't do. Murder, no less. But I'll tell you, it's true. Opal ain't the murdering type.
Don't tell them.
So you see,
Oh,
Opal.
please don't tell me she's in the castle we passed getting here.
Yeah, Opal. You see, she was pretending to be a local orc thug, getting some information for a client. But in the meantime, that orc goes and kills someone on that very same night. Opal's pretending to be him. Guards know the orc, and even though they find Opal looking like him, they arrest her and throw her in the holes under Castle Never. Even though they know she's a changer, they still blame her. Easier work for them. That's a lot for a usual suspect in Neverwinter.
Oh, Jesus.
Still a better Cockney accent than Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, fuck off.
No, it's a better accent.
But that's not much of a
Cockney
that's not much of a compliment. No, if you were honestly saying it wasn't too bad, thank you. If that wasn't a backhanded.
It wasn't brilliant, but it was not too bad. It was passable.
Thank you. All right.
So what you're telling me is that you did just pull an R&D.
How? In what way? I didn't lie to you guys. His minimum was 5 gold. That's in the book.
Yeah, but look at all this fucking building.
Okay. Do you have information of how to get into the holes, or are we wasting our time here?
All right, I'm not gonna. The Cockney accent was just because how it's written. It's kind of funny. He's like, well, that's not my business. I'm in a lot of information business, but I think there might be other people in town who would have more in connection on that level than. I think you were talking to one of them earlier. Looks at Belvar.
Oh. Guess we're gonna need to look for contacts then. Well, Silver, who were you talking to a while ago?
Sorry, what was that?
Who were you talking to? Maybe some of my persuasion can get a bit more information.
Yes, it was the well-groomed lady over there.
I mean, Clue's just gonna walk up to them and just be like, "How you doing? Can I sit?"
Yeah, Mogul looks up and she says, "Yes, have a seat. Very popular chair tonight."
I mean, just I'm a family man who's a bit far from home, just looking for some work.
Congratulations.
I assume she does not speak Thief Kent, then I
sorry.
guess.
She looks at you and she says, "Yeah, well, at the moment the family's a little bit pressed. There's a lot of let's say outside relatives who've decided to move in, taking up a lot of the family resources and generally making things quite stressful. So I'm just saying that to get involved right now is to bring in a little bit of stress in your life, family stress."
It's family's family though. Can you at least get me a hint on a cousin or something? Somebody who can give me a bigger picture?
You're looking at her? What do you need to know?
Fair enough. Well, I've got a friend who's recently, well, let's say they've been put in detention in a nearby building, and I'm looking to know if there's a way to get her, out.
Oh, you've got a cousin who's in some trouble, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Did this happen to be that very changeable cousin of yours?
Changing by the day. It's how they be.
Yeah, it's like next time you see her, you don't even recognize her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think I know your cousin. your cousin and I have done some work together, and actually, I'm quite interested to talk to her too, as work she does for the family, helping with moving things around for people, helping people move house, clearing things out. Well, I've got some questions for her myself. You'd like to talk to your cousin too, and you had some interesting information. Would you be are you looking to get in contact with her?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we'd get her out so she can continue her work, but contact would be a good start.
Well, I don't like discussing family business in public. It gets embarrassing. Drama. Someplace where we should talk more privately.
I mean, you probably know this city better than I do, so lead the way.
You want to take your loud group with you?
A couple of them, yes, but the others will unfortunately follow.
Sorry.
So yeah, Clue gestures at the rest of the group.
You guys see Clue gesturing.
Except Perry, who's outside.
Yes, who's already still outside. He's still outside. Yes, staying away from things.
Mark sees this and goes, "Clue, fuck you." Actually, no, strike that. Mara breaks into song. Fuck you very, very much.
Well, puts you drink and hastily heads over towards Chloe.
Bar just walked over to Clue with emotion.
All right, Mogul gets up and she starts to head out the front of the tavern.
Mara follows the nicely dressed shorty.
As she moves, there are 5 other a mix of humans, like men and women, who notice her moving, and as she leaves, they all sort of like also follow her out.
Mm-hmm.
So who is heading outside? So Perry, you're already out there. You see this yes. How was she described? As tailored suit, petite human, wearing a tailored suit and slick-backed gray hair, despite looking quite young, quite gray. And behind her are these sort of like 5 bandits who also seem to be kind of her bodyguards.
Okay, that's what I was about to ask.
We hate what you do and we hate your whole crew, so please don't enter.
Is she saying that as she leaves the tavern?
Yeah, yes, Mara is like just kind of like skipping out, dressed to the nines in her skimpy outfit, skipping along.
Clue just like walks both next to over and just whispers, "You wouldn't happen to have a silence spell, would you?"
I wish.
All right. Right. So as you guys, as you all, I should say, leave the tavern, yeah, Mogul and her bodyguards start walking down the street, and you sort of tag along behind, or follow along.
Mm-hmm.
They turn down an alley, a very narrow alley, and kind of like stands in front of a door, seems to be unlocking it, opens it up, and she and the bodyguards go inside.
Well, we're either gonna get information or we're gonna get stabbed. Let's roll those dice.
I blame you.
Kabara casts mage armor on herself.
Okay.
Seems legit.
All right. So yeah.
Perry follows along sneaking.
You're sneaking
up to the door at least.
Okay, so you're not with the group. Are you going to go into the through the open door?
Only if the rest of the group does.
Yep.
If Dara
Clue's
does.
walking in.
All walking in.
All right.
All right. Yes. So you walk in, and it's basically a very large square room. It's kind of like an office space, but it's pretty sparsely decorated. There are several. I should say there's a table with several chairs around it, and the bandits kind of pull the chairs out so there are enough of them, and kind of face them in front of the desk. Mogul walks around, sits behind the desk, facing you. And if you guys looked behind you, what you'd see is that the door is shut behind you, and the bandits are sort of all lined up against that wall, just watching y'all. She looks at you and says, "We're talking about Opal, right?" Looks at Clue. All you.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, we were. Yes.
All right. Well, look, I've done some business with Opal. She's good people. And I actually really need to get a hold of her because she still has some of my assets. Now, I don't know what you guys know about the holes, but if you're serious about going in after her, you're willing to get the information on where my stash is. Well, I'm assuming she's got something. You don't have to tell me. I don't really care. I just need to know where my stuff is. And get me that information. I'll do what I can. I'll tell you what I know about the holes to help get her.
That seems like a fair exchange. I know of the holes, but I've never had calls to find out about the insides until now, of course.
Yeah, well, yeah, better this way, and I hope if you go in and you can't get out, you definitely more about them.
Oh, indeed.
All right, well,
How do you?
Mm-hmm.
What? Are they really deep?
Well, it's basically like their dungeon. That's why they call them the hole. You get thrown into a hole. It's basically like a dug underground dungeon area where they.
Oh, so they're not just holes.
No, they don't actually dig holes in through. It's a.
Yeah, it's just a colloquial name, Hibara.
Do they have a visiting procedure?
Well, let me tell you. Here's the basic stuff that since Neverwinter came to power, anyone in the holes has already been found guilty of a crime. So Opal doesn't have a trial. He's already been convicted. If you want to call that a trial. And she's been convicted of a high crime, murder. Punishment for that is death. Executions take place each 10 day at noon. If you get there the night before, they'll still do you on the next 10 day if that's the next day, right? So the next execution occurs 2 days from today. We're on a bit of a time crunch. Alright, so here's...
So it seems, who has she been convicted of murdering?
Some orc killed somebody. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but there's no appeals. So, and also, she wasn't even the one who did it. She just shape-shifted into the look of the orc who did it. But they didn't care. They threw her in anyway.
Nah. Are they aware that she's a shapeshifter, or are they...
Oh, yeah, she's got a record. They know her. They know police in Opal, like police in me. We go way back here at Neverwinter.
Shame. Fair enough.
Alright, so from my research into it, trying to figure out a way of getting some kind of communications in and out of the holes, this is what I can tell you. If you do during the executions themselves, the guards, there's a lot of them, and powerful people also show up to watch justice disperse. So if anyone tried to break her free during right before the execution, not only would you have the guards, but you'd have nosy getting in your way trying to be here. Rescuing someone from the gallows, it's nearly impossible. Not saying you couldn't do it, just saying it's probably the hardest way. There's only one entrance into the holes, and that's from the main level of Castle Never. That level is being rebuilt. So on the plus side, there's a lot of bricklayers, stonemason, people, untrained hirelings, they move in and out of that first area pretty easily. There's not a lot of security there until you get to the. However, there are a minimum of, from what we've seen, 4 guards, 3 veterans that stand watch at the entrance, and then 7 more guards, and we think 3 more veterans in the holes. Okay. Now, one opportunity we did find that had more possibility than the gallows is that on the day before an execution, friends and family of a prisoner are allowed to go into the holes to bring someone their last meal.
Do they watch you while you do it?
The guards are there, yeah. But, you know, there's a lot of different ways. You know, we've looked at some things we've tossed around, bribery. Maybe you can get the orc to come forward. Maybe you can bust her out. I don't know, but or you can try to save her at the gallows suicide mission. Like I said, what you do, I don't really care. I just want you to tell Opal that Mogul wants to know where her shit is. Got it?
Fair enough.
I could help with that.
How's that? She looks at you.
With magic? What is it?
It's some stuff I'm really not allowed to talk about unless it's a need-to-know basis.
Well, I can't help you find it if you don't tell me what it is.
Yeah. How are you going to find it if I told you what it was?
With magic?
Yeah, what kind of magic? We tried locate object.
Oh. I guess it must be buried in some lead.
So, yeah, I've got resources. I mean, I appreciate the offer, but we've tried that. So that's all I can tell you.
The guards, are they particularly familiar with each other, or can you just show up in the right outfit and be generally okay?
Well, there's 2 types of guards mostly in Neverwinter. There are Neverember started off with mercenaries, but they're not really the kind of like people who people feel safe around. So we've been having adventurers train local citizens, also hiring some retired adventurers. But in there, I mean, maybe if you could find a guard and polymorph into him, you know, you could take his place or her place. That's a possibility, I guess. But, you know, 1 guard, unless you got a whole bunch of polymorph spells. I don't know how you're all going to get in.
Oh.
Seems like sneaking would be the best.
Yeah,
But we
the
don't
thing
really
is,
need 1 guard.
depending on what they have there, once we get her out, it might be very easy to. Well, once we get her out of the cell, it might actually be pretty easy to walk her out. So, you know, I can make people invisible.
And Thelvar can disguise self spell.
Yeah, so we have 2 people who can just kind of look like a thing if they want to.
And Tabar can use Pass Without Trace to get everyone in.
Or wild shape into something into someone's pocket.
Yeah, so it's mostly, well, Perry probably has at least a decent enough stealth stat, so we can at least sneak around once we like get him past the first couple of layers. But like, Morrow's gonna be the big issue.
Well, I mean,
Just
Trace gives you a +10. So,
Well, you could put the pass without trace on Mara, and then you could wild shape into something to go in someone's pocket, as you did before.
fun fact. On that note, Pass Without Trace only works on yourself, but you can make it affect anyone within 30 feet of you. So, Pass Without Trace, it's concentrate, and then be a lizard, and then live in someone's pocket. While they then get +10 to their stealth and
Well, that would stack with Perry's natural stealth, presumably.
Yep,
Yeah.
it does.
So that would give Perry a +20.
Yeah.
Way to go, Perry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do we get Mara in the building? Or Mara could just
So
sit
I mean-
outside
Plus,
and be a distraction.
an extra +10 is still pretty good. The thing is, stealth doesn't work if there's just like 2 guards standing there staring at you. So the thing is, we do have those 2 disguised selves, so we could have a distraction.
You need
Well, for that, we're gonna.
Dragon do the hula.
We got 2 people who can disguise themselves as guards. So the 2 people disguise themselves as guards, get into the prison disguised as the guards, relieve the 2 guards guarding our prisoner, and then Perry with Habara as a lizard or whatever can stealth their way in, get our quarry, stealth their way out, and then we can leave.
I mean,
Might I make one little observation? If we want to get in and out without them having any clue that there's something untoward happening, we might need the orc. Or half orc.
I mean, once she's out, we don't care that much that she knows that we know he's out or she's out. I mean, unless you think they're just gonna like find a shapeshifter real quick afterwards. Once they're out in the field, they're pretty hard to track down.
Not so much that, but suddenly having the entire city looking out for people who might be involved in a jailbreak.
Well, I mean, aren't we leaving tomorrow?
I mean, I think we have to look for the Orrey and stuff, so we're probably gonna be here for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah, it could be risky, but at the same time,
don't get caught.
how are we gonna find the orc in 2 days as well, and then somehow sneak the orc in to go to prison? I don't think he's gonna particularly agree with that plan.
Mogul
we don't
leans
need
forward.
it to agree.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Mogul leans forward and says, "Look, I told you what I know. Those are things that I've
Yeah, we should-
verified with my own people. But there's something I'm going to tell you now that it's a rumor. That there's a rumor that there's a secret entrance to the holes underneath Castle Never. Now, I don't know it. I don't know anyone who does know it, and I don't know like where they would be or even where you'd find it. But if you want to spend some time trying to find a secret entrance, and then I don't know what would be in there, but that's the rumor anyway."
Do you have any dead bodies?
Sorry, can I just retcon that a little bit, and then I'll ask about dead bodies. A secret passage said to access the holes from a cave on the shore of Black Lake, now Blue Lake, from which the district gets its name. But he doesn't knows of it. It's just, do I have any dead bodies? No, I don't traffic in bodies. Looking for some dead bodies? Are you looking to make some dead bodies? I know some people who know some people who kill some people.
If we had a dead body, we could put the dead body in there, and then I could light the dead body on fire. And then they have a person who immolated themselves.
So she looks at Hibara, and then she just looks at the rest of you guys.
You'll have to forgive my druid friend there. She's a bit of a pyrophile. It's part of her nature of her druid organization. Wildfire. You just
That
have
body
to
might be helpful.
We should have kept
I
them on
mean,
the ship.
if we plan on switching with like some guards, we might be making some corpses ourselves anyway.
As long as I don't get dead body underneath my fingernails.
Well, look, tell you what, just to sweeten the pot and make sure everything's on the up and up, and I will compensate you for your time. You guys managed to get from Opal where my shit is. I will give you a finder's fee. Save me the hassle of having to send my own people out on it. But I don't care what your plans are. Go find a tavern or something. I got stuff to do.
Very well.
You can't stay here. Get the fuck out is what I'm getting. Hey, you're a page.
She's like, we've got the same energy.
Just in case, do you have any idea where we might find the actual guilty orc, half orc, or whatever they were?
Not my business. I deal with rumors. I guess you could go to the court system, look it up, or ask around. I mean, it was you could go to the old newspapers or whatever. Go talk to somebody on the police force. There's probably a couple different ways you could find out.
Oh, so full of information. Wealth of information.
I'm just spitballing here. This is why I make the big bucks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the ideas person, and the other people are the work people. I
I'm
like
sure.
it like that.
One day I'll be an IT person.
I'll live that long first.
It's a good ambition to have.
That's a good. Yes, I think we should go. Well, we'll head out now. We've got a few ideas how to proceed. My friend here can go investigate the lake area. I'm sure they'd find something. Thank you for the information. We'll hopefully be in contact soon.
You can, if you don't see me at the stable quiver, you can give the message to Squid, because he's nice, but he won't understand the fucking thing, so you'll be safe with him. And he'll remember it right. He's good for information, that kind.
Very good, very good. I'll hope to see you soon then.
I hope to see my shit soon.
Indeed, indeed. Hello.
I didn't realize she was going to be so saucy.
After the display at the bar? Not surprising.
We didn't do anything to her at the bar.
So yeah, one of the bandits or the bodyguards, whatever stat block, opens the door and lets you guys back out into a little narrow alley, her office.
Bara turns to Thelvar. Are we going to this lake? Where is that?
It's nearby.
You don't want all of us going to the lake.
Put you back on a map.
Should we?
Well, we don't all need to go. But I can take us to the lake just so Clue knows where it is, and then we can go find an inn, and then Clue, if you could use your expert powers of observation to see if you could find this entrance for us.
We'll try.
Yeah, I will also allow like nature checks if you're looking for, like something in the earth. I don't know about.
Oh yeah, I can actually be useful. I'm good at nature check.
Yeah, there's that, but Clue does have an ungodly investigation check.
It's 8, which is pretty good. Yeah, expertise will do that.
But if you want, more chances, because again, finding a secret entrance is not like even with a high roll, you might like get warmer. You're not gonna oh yeah, here's a secret entrance nobody's ever found before. It'll be some sort of like ability test, test.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, there's one of us who could actually get into the water and look around.
See, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do it from both sides. Yeah, so Thelvar, are you gonna take people over to Blue Lake now, as it's called? So you guys, or should I say y'all, walk over from where, the alley was.
We were around about here because you said we came over past the castle, so we were like in this area. So it's a very short walk away.
Yeah, and to get up there, and it's a lovely sort of created lake, or I guess what. Maybe it's not created and but it's a very lovely little park area, very very bougie, very upper class, very nice. Very, very, yeah, nice neighborhood to live in.
And while we're in the north of the city, Thelvar's gonna ping the Orrey piece.
Yep, it still feels farther north.
Yikes. Okie dokie. So it might not be in Neverwinter after all.
We'll have a walk around the lake. Anyone else want to do anything while you want to feed any ducks or swans? Harry, you want to test the water?
Harry can't swim that well.
Aww.
Ibarra, what you looking for?
Secret entrance.
You don't see any, just walking
Yeah.
around. Kicking over some stones, like that's not it. Kicking some rocks, stepping on them.
Oh, never mind.
Wow, though.
We're gonna go with the 22 because I didn't mean to click that twice.
Are you guys gonna look for a secret entrance in the middle of the day while everybody's around?
I mean,
Yeah.
Clue is just gonna like look for anything that, because it's supposed to be to a cave, just looking for anything that would suggest cave formations, just being sort of vaguely nearby.
Yeah, I'm assuming
Caves,
what's
large tree
happening,
stumps.
as you said, it would probably take more than one roll, I think, but just trying to get a sense of the area of the lake that might be a good place to look rather than the exact location.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like, where would these roundabout be?
All right. So with your 22, I will say with that 22,
I wasn't expecting to roll that high.
you narrow. You think that the likeliest places for it to be would be closest to Castle Never. So you think that maybe focusing on this bottom quarter area would be the way to go, as opposed to like having to go under the lake, or because it can't go through the water, so it can't like come straight down, from the sides. So you're thinking, yeah, maybe in that.
Yeah, somewhere in this area.
Correct.
Okay. How much daylight do we have left?
I'm gonna say it's like about 4 o'clock at this point. Everything that you've
Okay,
done,
so
like traveling and walking and looking.
Okay, so while today is still ongoing, it's probably a good idea to check out the castle itself. Just look who's coming in and out of it right now, in case if we have to go through the front. We maybe have an idea of when guards switch, or at the very least the kind of people who normally go in.
Yeah, sure. You can go walk around.
We can do that on the way to a decent inn. But the safest ones are around the area of Protector's Enclave, so we'll be passing by the castle anyway.
Okay, let's see. So you wanted to, did you want to sort out the tavern first, or did you want to walk past the castle first?
Walk past the castle first.
Okay, all right. So yes, let's say it's actually over. That's when they don't have trading district. I don't see the.
But they don't have an area called Trading District. Blue Lake is kind of a trading district.
Yeah, I think this was so after the destruction they reorganized the city, so some of the quarter or the neighborhoods changed. So we're gonna say the Jester's Crown. Well, actually, that's a little too pricey for you. Okay, you're heading toward the Laughing Bean. It was originally a very nasty, cheap inn, but it was eventually bought by a group of adventurers and turned into a Faerun's first coffee shop. It still is a rickety wooden building with no 2 sets of chairs and tables that are the same. Yes, so you can you know of that place that's within your budget. Let's say Thelvar, that you can head to the Laughing. And on your way there, you can go past the castle. It's pretty much as Mogul described her intelligence. There seem to be a lot of guards that you can see in the front, and when you count through it, it was a little bit more. I think she said at least 4. Right now, it seems like there's actually 6 that you can see, plus some more veterans. So looks like it's minimum of 4 guards and 3 veterans. Right now, it's, what did I say? 6 guards and 3 veterans. So it's she's like, sometimes they just seem to have a bit more security than. But pretty much as she said, one big entrance front. There are also, at the end of the day, you can see a lot of workers too who are starting to get ready to. They look like they're starting to pull pack things away for the next day, because it takes a little while to, make sure if they're working with stone that they cover it up so it doesn't get rained on. I don't know. And put their tools away and things. So you do also see a lot of, activity around it and moving around, but it's mostly workers and guards. It's not like they're just tourists coming by or anything.
Good information.
As you can tell, it wouldn't be easy getting in via the front. Unless we are well disguised, of course.
I mean, workmen are pretty easy to imitate, even for our less stealth-inclined friends, but once you need to get past those initial guards, it's going to be a lot tougher.
Indeed.
So you guys walk over. Oh, so go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's an option B at the very least, but let's see if this cave pans out first.
Maybe we should see about finding where they're headquartered and getting a guard rotation.
Might also be interesting, yeah.
Well, they're headquartered in the garrison at Castle Neverwinter. Where else would they be? And the Halls of Justice is just over there. Other than that, guards live in various places around the city.
Gorko pipes up for the first time because he's still with you. He's been really quiet. He says, so if we find a sneaky way in, are we going to be able to use the sneaky way out?
Probably so.
I hope so.
Otherwise, we're shit out of luck, I think. Once you're in, if you can't get back out, well, that's what we in the business call a hard time.
Well, don't leave your stuff at the inn in case we need to leave the town proper.
We're gonna die, aren't we?
Good plan.
We're not going to die or get caught.
I mean, once again, I have invisibility.
Yeah, that helps you.
Yes, it does.
All right, so do you guys want to roleplay checking into the inn, or should we say, because you guys might want to have this discussion about stuff. I'm gonna be honest. They don't have a pre-prepared how to find a secret entrance skill check for me, so I have to come up with that. So we'd have to definitely kick that to the next session. You really threw me when you went for your nature check and rolled a 20, and I was like, sure, put it in the bottom. Yeah, okay, that's where it'll be now. I don't know where the fuck it is. I don't know. I don't know where it is.
I'm gonna say that's not a little weird.
Yeah, well, I would assume that after rescuing her from the dungeon, we're going to be making a hasty exit anyway. So yeah, it might be an idea to figure out where this secret exit is and then put that on the back burner while we locate this Orrey piece.
Do we have time for that?
Because we need to get that before we leave, and yeah, if we're breaking someone out of a prison, we're probably going to want to leave pretty soon afterwards.
Doesn't she get killed in only 2 days, though?
Yes, the execution is 2 days from today, so the day after tomorrow.
So we basically only have tomorrow.
And the day before, the family members can bring food, and family and friends can bring them their last meal.
So there's options.
Yes. So are you all thinking? Is that why you're quiet?
I think that's what.
Okay, it's just, yeah, okay. So, yeah, I mean, like, there's this evening, there's tomorrow evening, and then she's executed the next day.
But what sort of time the next day?
They don't say, so we'll say, like, 10 o'clock in the morning. It's a public execution.
You'll see the crowds gather if nothing else.
So we've got 2 nights to do it.
Yeah. So probably want to spend this night hoping to find the cave entrance. If we do, great, we'll use it. Well, if you find it early enough, we might be able to do it today, or otherwise it's gonna be the next evening. If we do not find the cave entrance today, we're just gonna have to figure something else out.
Aye.
Belvar, can you do me an intelligence check just to see?
Intelligence check.
Yeah, so you're very aware that if you head underground, I mean, whatever opened up in that crevices, they could have gotten around the city. So there might be more underground than just the tunnel to Castle Never down there.
Uh-huh.
Belvar wouldn't have to like study the guards in order to disguise himself as one, because he lived here.
No, I don't think if it was a disguised self, it would take that much, because you'd look at them and study them for a little bit, just walk up to one of them and like just a regular guard in the street without attracting too much attention.
You wouldn't have to. You don't have to disguise as like that guard.
No, not like sort of like doppelganger polymorph into a second one.
Yeah, and since Belvar lived here, he wouldn't have to like study them because he's seen them so much.
Well, they've changed a little bit because they've gone after the destruction. There was the mercenaries, and they kind of have their own. And now they're bringing in this like new Neverember costume, uniform. So there's a slight change, but it's not something that you couldn't get with a basic perception roll.
So it's no longer the grey cloaks.
You don't think so, anyway. I'm not that deep. I did a lot of crash course on Neverwinter lore, but it's not as deep on YouTube as Waterdeep. But I found some maps and tavern names and things.
Lord.
Yes. Well, you guys don't have to decide. I think we're coming up on 10 o'clock. So you can also strategize about a prison break in the DMs and at the start of the next session.
And of course, it is an hour later for 2 of our players than it normally is, so...
Yes, get going on with your day. So, yes, welcome to Neverwinter. Hope you guys like you actually thought you were just gonna go in and talk to somebody and leave. Like,
No.
okay. I know.
I was expecting to get like another job, but wasn't expecting like Prison Break.
All
Makes
kinds.
things interesting.
Prison Break.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're on for next week, right? No one has any conflicts?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm fine for next week.
Excellent. Well then, I guess until next time, all that's left to be said is goodbye from Waterdeep from me, and goodbye from the party. Or actually, Neverwinter, not Waterdeep. Waterdeep, Dragon Heist, just set in Neverwinter. Say goodbye, party.
Goodbye, party.
Goodbye, party.
They did the bit.